It's CCL playoff time, and we're delighted to bring it live here on the CCL Broadcasting Network. My name is John Thrifkin. I'm joined alongside me by Jordan Brenner. We'll be your broadcasters for the playoffs. Our producer, Sean McKinnon, behind the camera, making sure that we're up and running. Everybody, it's finally here, the CCL playoffs. Jordan, today's first matchup, the number 2 seed Orange County Riptide taking on the number 3 seed Healdsburg Prune Packers. Both these teams have seen a lot of each other as of late. The Riptide walked off against the Healdsburg Prune Packers 2 nights ago. Healdsburg losing on the heel, or coming in, on the heels of a loss to the Oaks. They've lost 3 of their last 4. Who has the most momentum right now, and what do we expect from today's game?
Well, the momentum definitely is with Orange County right now. Not only did they walk off 2 days ago against Healdsburg, they actually walked off for a second consecutive game yesterday. Austin Soika went deep with 2 outs in the 9th inning to beat the Academy Barons. They are riding some type of wave of momentum right now, and they're going to be tough to beat, especially with the depth of their lineup and the quality of their pitching.
Let's talk about pitching here a little bit, Jordan. Chase Gardner is going to be starting for the Healdsburg Prune Packer. Cassius Ham will be starting for the Orange County Riptide. They're both very similar in their stats. Gardner in 24 innings, he has a 2.47 ERA. He has 32 strikeouts and 14 walks. Cassius Ham in 33 innings, he has 33 strikeouts and 16 walks. They both have a good ERA, and they both have a quite good strikeout total as well. The biggest question mark is the walks. 14 for Chase Gardner, 16 for Cassius Ham. Who limits the walks more here today, and how do both these teams exploit that problem on the other side of the ball?
Well, you were right on the money. We have 2 pretty similar pitchers right here. Cassius Ham, we know a little bit more about him because he's gone more innings in CCL play, so his numbers are truly reflective of his abilities. But Chase Gardner, here's a guy, the majority of his innings have come in non-league play. He hasn't gone more than 5 innings in a California Collegiate League game. We all know the stuff is there, but what Chase Gardner are we going to get today? We don't know. That'll be a big part of this ball game.
And indeed, well, can you enlighten us a little bit on the offense for both these teams? They both are led by some very strong players. Of course, Brian Arias, one of the top prospects in the CCL. Sam Wesniak, a phenomenal fielder. On the other side, Thomas Delgadillo, who's leading the team in batting average. He's an incredible fielder as well. What do both these teams do offensively, and how do some of these guys stand out to try and give their team the win?
Well, Healdsburg hits a lot of home runs. They have 5 different players with more than 5 home runs this summer, which is a ridiculous stat. Obviously, some of those come with their stadium up in Healdsburg, 250 feet down the left field line. Not the biggest dimensions there, but they can certainly hit the ball hard. And beyond that, they actually steal a lot of bases. At the top of the lineup, through the middle of the lineup, a lot of guys like to run the base as well, and that might be useful for them at Sparky Anderson Field, a ballpark with pitcher-friendly dimensions. On the other side, Orange County, they have great depth to their lineup. Sorry, there's a bee right in my face. But Orange County, they hit top to bottom. They hit a lot of home runs as well. They're a tough offense to stop, especially when they're rolling together. They show up in big games, and they're definitely hitting the ball very hard right now.
On the field behind us, Coach Gomes and Coach Smith are exchanging lineups with our umpiring crew. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be behind the mic. You'll be getting a full field view, and we'll bring you your starting lineups. It's the number 2 Riptide versus the number 3 Healdsburg Prune Packers right here on the CCL Broadcasting Network. It's CCL playoff time. We'll be right back. Back here at George Sparky Anderson Field for Game 1 of the CCL playoffs. To my right, Jordan Brenner. To my left, our wonderful producer, Sean McKinnon. My name is Jonathan Rifkin. Happy to be on hand with you for all of the CCL playoffs. It's game number 1, as the Riptide are the home team, the number 2 seed, taking on the number 3 seed, the Healdsburg Prune Packers, the team from up north. Let's get you the starters now. First for the Healdsburg Prune Packers, under third-year man, Coach Joey Gomes. They are the number 3 seed here in the CCL playoffs after losing to the Oaks in the final regular season game yesterday. From the University of the Pacific and playing third base, batting first for Healdsburg is Kevin Sandry. Behind him, Ben Sanderson, from UCSB, playing left field. Brian Arias from University of Texas San Antonio is in the 3 spot from out of second base. Cleaning up and playing catcher from Santa Clara is Jacob McNichols. Quentin Selma behind him, playing first base from Cal. Sam Wozniak is at shortstop, also from Cal. He's batting in the 6th spot. Behind him in the 7th spot, Dane Toftelin from Indiana State. He's in right field. Wendell Champion, the 3rd, DHing behind him from Houston. And to round out the Healdsburg order, it's Luke Fagan out in center field from Indiana State. On the mound for the Prune Packers, and we'll give you more about him when the Healdsburg Prune Packers take the defensive side, is Chase Gardner. The field here for the Riptide will give you their top 9 when they take the field in the bottom of the 1st inning. Out and right is out and right is Micah Prees, and center is Aaron Simpson, and the left is Thomas Delgadillo. Mason McWhorter at first, Steve Curry at second, Paul Gomez at short, Austin Soika at third, and behind the dish is Chase Sebi. On the mound will be Cassius Ham. He's 1-1 in the regular season, a 2.73 ERA, 33 innings, 33 strikeouts, and 16 walks. The first pitch here of the playoffs is dealt. Sandry takes it right over the heart of the plate for strike 1. First pitch time, 12 o'clock, exactly when it was supposed to start. Weather at 88 degrees. 0-1 pitch, misses low and away. Ball 1 to even the count here. 88 degrees, wind blowing steadily out to right field at 8 to 10 miles an hour. Quickly dealing here is Ham, the 1-1. Cracked foul out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Little overcasty here early, but we expect that the weather will change a little bit as the day progresses. Maybe clear up a little bit and the temperature will increase. The 1-2 offering. Jammed him, popped up, middle infield. At a second base, Steve Curry calls for it and makes the catch for out number 1 here of the 2018 CCL playoffs. The Orange County Riptide are in their blue tops today with white sleeves. They have white letters on the front outlined by orange and orange numbers on the front outlined by white, with white numbers on the back and white pants with a blue stripe down the side. The Prune Packers are in the maroon red tops, white letters and numbers on the front, white numbers on the back, and white pants. Ben Sanderson steps in, takes the first pitch. He sees the opposite way down the left field line. He's rounding first and going to second. Delgadillo chases it down past the bullpen, and that is a 1-pitch stand-up double for Ben Sanderson. 1 away runner in scoring position here early for the Healdsburg Prune Packers.
And Ben Sanderson had a very big day against the Caneo Oaks yesterday. He's continuing to see the ball very well at the plate, takes it the opposite field on a tough pitch. And Healdsburg threatening quickly, trying to get those nerves off their shoulders in a very big game.
1-1 away for Brian Arias. A phenomenal prospect who has been tearing up the CCL this season. University of Texas San Antonio product. Runner in scoring position, 1 away. Ham offers the first pitch, cracked over to short, gloved by Gomez. He makes the play to third, and that is a good force out. The tag was applied by Soika. And that's a mistake on the base paths by Ben Sanderson. When you're on second with only 1 out, you want to wait. You don't want to make the aggressive play, especially in the playoffs, because you don't want to eliminate any opportunity to score. And when you're on second base, you wait to see if the throw is made to first, and then you go. But right there, Sanderson was off to the races right off the crack of the bat, and that was a good gun down from Gomez to Soika for out number 2 on the fielder's choice. Arias reaches first. First pitch, Jacob McNichols. This was low for ball 1. These two teams played on Thursday night. It was 4-4 in the bottom of the 9th. And Mason McWhorter, who's batting cleanup today for the Riptide, who was 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts in that game, walked off for the Riptide. The 1-0 offering, swing and a miss, strike 1. And then Orange County, in their final regular season game against the Barons last night, it was tied 5-5. They also walked off. 2 consecutive walk-offs to end the season for the Riptide. Talk about a momentum boost. The 1-1. Another fastball, swung and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to McNichols. Finished the season with a .303 batting average. Led the team with 14 homers. He also had 46 big RBIs. Ham with a runner on first and 2 away offers the 1-2. Fastball upstairs to even the count. First ever season where the CCL playoffs are held outside of the MLB Urban Youth Academy. And I talked to Commissioner Pat Burns before the game, and he told me that Cal Lutheran will be the site of the playoffs for years to come. 2-2, misses inside, and that brings the count full now to McNichols. And this is a big at-bat for the Packers. McNichols is a guy they want to get going. He's very good at making contact. He has great power. They like to see that exploited here. Payoff pitch pending. Am comes set from the stretch. Roxon fires. Runners off. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Fastball outside. Got McNichols. And that puts us through the top of the first inning. No runs, a hit, no errors. Brian Arias left on first base. No score. To the bottom of the first we go. When we come back, the Orange County starting 9 and the Healdsburg Prune Packer Field. You're watching CCL Playoff Baseball. It's round 1 on the CCL Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back.
Number 22, Aaron Simpson.
Back here in the bottom of the first inning. No score. The Packers were retired with ease. The top 9 for the OC Riptide. Aaron Simpson from Ball State will lead off. Steve Curry behind him from Georgia Southern. Micah Prees in the 3 spot from Point Loma Nazarene. Mason McWhorter cleaning up from Georgia Southern. Austin Soika behind him from Oklahoma Wesleyan. I'll give you the final 4 here in just a moment. Chase Gardner on the mound deals a first pitch ball upstairs to Aaron Simpson. The count is 1-0. In the 6th spot is Matthew Cooper from Clemson. Chase Sebi from Ball State in the 7th spot. Gardner offers the 1-0. Big swing and a miss to even the count. In the 8th spot, Thomas Delgadillo from Fullerton College, though he is undecided where he will attend in the fall. And the number 9 batter in the OC order, Paul Gomez from Missouri. Chase Gardner, the southpaw, comes set and offers the 1-1. Fastball, just outside. 2 balls and a strike here. Gardner on the season from UConn. Does not have an official record, 0-0. Does have 33 innings, though, pitched. 33 strikeouts and a 2.62 ERA. Jam Simpson, he's going the other way. Under it, though, is Dane Tofteland, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Dane Tofteland in right, Luke Fagan in center, Ben Sanderson in left, Quentin Selma at first, Brian Arias at second, Sam Wesniak at short, Kevin Sandry at third, and Jacob McNichols behind the dish. Steve Curry now will step in here. Batting .304. Couple of home runs. First pitch. Looped into right field, and that drops for a single. How about this? A little what you can do, I can do better type action here. Healdsburg with one out on the first pitch to Ben Sanderson, their second batter. He doubled the opposite field. And right here, Steve Curry does the same thing, but the other way.
And that's how you want to think, especially in a pitcher-friendly ballpark. You're not going to slug the ball to the pull side unless you're a really powerful left-handed hitter. But thinking the other way early in the game shows me that both of these teams have the right mindset.
Lefty on lefty matchup. Prees steps in and swings at a first pitch strike. He misses the 0-1. Micah Prees on the season batting .339, though in fewer at-bats than most other players. 62 plate appearances, 56 recorded at-bats. He does have 8 RBIs and 7 extra base hits. Takes a fastball up and in to even the count. 1 ball and a strike. This is a rematch of last year's championship game. These two teams duked it out in Compton for the crown of the CCL, and the Orange County Riptide ended up winning it. It's actually very funny, the playoff schedule here today, and I'll tell you why here in just a moment. The 1-1 in. Cracked foul down the left field line. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Micah Prees. Last year's championship game was OC versus Healdsburg. 2 years ago, it was Santa Barbara versus Conejo Oaks, and that's the second game of the day. It's a little bit of history repeating itself, though, in the first round of the playoffs rather than in the championship. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lefty on lefty matchup. Garner offers. Prees staying alive here. Fouls off another one. Quiet crowd on hand, though. We expect it to pick up as the day goes on. Some Orange County fans to our left. Some Healdsburg fans to our right. Some local folks just enjoying a good day of baseball. They don't have a stake in either of these teams. Are at the ballpark as well. We hope you're enjoying your Saturday morning. Gardner checks the runner at first and delivers the 1-2. Outside, great stop by McNichols. Keeps the runner at bay at first base to even the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. No matter how you're watching or where you're watching, Jordan Brenner and myself appreciate you making CCL playoff baseball a part of your Saturday morning schedule. Also on hand is our incredible producer, Sean McKinnon. He's been doing it all season long for the Oaks. And now on behalf of the CCL. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gardner deals. Cracked up the middle. Will it get through? No. Stepping on first, making the throw the first is Brian Arias, and that was a great play by the Roadrunner. The unassisted 4-3 putout ends the first inning. No runs hit, no errors, nobody left on base. 1 inning has come and gone here in the CCL playoffs. No score. To the top of the second we go for Quentin Selma, Sam Wesniak, and Dane Toftelin. You're watching CCL playoff baseball on the CCL Broadcasting Network. The Cal Golden Bear, Quentin Selma, will lead things off here for the Prune Packers. Back here, Sparky Anderson Field, CCL playoff baseball, the Riptide and the Packers. First pitch from Cassius Ham. Misses loaded, a lefty 4-1. On the season for Quentin Selma. Not too bad as the 1-0 pitch misses low for ball 2. His batting average up at .302. 47 RBIs. That led the team. Jack McNichols had 46. 2 balls and no strikes. Ham deals a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike now. It's almost really good. They have Golden Bears back-to-back Quentin Selma and Sam Wesniak, and they both contributed in their own ways, the 2-1. Fastball off the knees at 91 to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Selma's more of a lefty contact hitter who can pull. Sam Wesniak can do just about everything from spraying the ball all over to the field to hitting home runs. He's really a 5-tool guy. The 2-2. Sky down the left field line. On the run is Soika, but that ball will rise into the urban garden they have here on the beautiful campus of Cal Lutheran.
Well, Selma's a left-handed hitter with 6 home runs on the season. And that's a legit 6 home runs because the right field side up in Healdsburg is a pretty deep side of the field. So he has pretty raw power.
2-2. Curveball upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. No, yeah. Healdsburg utilizes Recreation Park up north very, very well. The dimensions 250 to left center. It's like 335, I believe, and right center is the furthest part of the ballpark. Jammed him on the payoff pitch right over to first. McWhorter on the balloon is under it for out number 1. Right center field up in Recreation Park is actually the biggest dimension.
The shortstop from Cal, number 3, Sam Wesniak.
It's at 390, and that's where Quentin Selma has done most of his damage. Sam Wesniak now stepping in. Another Cal Golden Bear, as I mentioned. He's really a 5-tool guy. And I expect him to be one of the big offensive keys. First pitch, low and away for ball 1. Feel free to chat with us in the YouTube live chat. Doesn't matter who you are. Jordan and I love to hear from the viewers. Some top pro prospects for this game. We'll talk about the second game as we go on here. The 1-0 pitch outside to even the count. Mason McWhorter, the leadoff in the next inning for the Orange County Riptide, is by far and away one of the top prospects in this game. Thomas Delgadillo out in left field for the Riptide. Another phenomenal prospect, the 2-0. Big swing and a miss, 2 balls and a strike. On the Healdsburg side, well, they're stacked. Kevin Sandry, their leadoff man, who's at third base, is a wonderful prospect. He was in the prospect game from Pacific. Jacob McNichols, the catcher and cleanup man for Healdsburg, also a big prospect to watch. 2-1 pitch. Swung and a miss, strike 2. And the final prospect, and I would say perhaps the biggest prospect of either team, is Brian Arias from the University of Texas San Antonio. He is over at second base. And he was one of the best players on the CCL Nationals, which was in the prospect game. It was the CCL Americans versus the CCL Nationals. On the American side was the Santa Barbara Foresters, the Conejo Oaks, and the Academy Barons. The rest of the field for the CCL was on the CCL Nationals, and there were 2 guys that really stood out on the CCL Nationals. The 2-2 pitch in the dirt, ball 3. One was Daniel Zhang from the SoCal Catch. He was incredible from Notre Dame. He plays right field. One of the best outfield prospects in the league by far and away. But Brian Arias was the other big standout for that CCL Nationals team in the prospect game. Payoff pitch, skied to right field. On the move is Prees. And he makes the catch for out number 2. Brian Arias moves his legs over in the field so well. And you saw that
The right fielder from Indiana State, number 29,
back in the first inning when he turned 2 by himself. He sees the ball well. He has a clean glove. He moves his feet very well. On the offensive side, he can hit home runs for you. He can go opposite or pull the ball. And he's very good at hitting fastballs, like in the mid-90s. He's a good fastball hitter. And that's really important because these guys in the playoffs, they throw hard. First pitch to Dane Toftelin, lifted to left center field. Delgadillo on the move at the track, and he makes the catch for out number 3. 1-2-3 inning here for Cassius Ham. Puts the Healdsburg Prune Packers away. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base, no score. To the bottom of the second we go. Middle 3 due up for the Riptide. Mason McWhorter, Austin Soika, and Matthew Cooper. You're watching CCL Playoff Baseball on the CCL Broadcasting Network.
Georgia Southern, number 4, Mason McWhorter.
Mason McWhorter, who the Healdsburg Prune Packers remember from Thursday night when he walked off in the bottom of the 9th inning back in Fullerton College, steps in here from Georgia Southern. Lefty on lefty matchup. Chase Gardner back on the mound, offers the first pitch. Cracked down the third base line. Coach Smith had a look at it in the third base box, but lets it go for strike one, No score, no runs and a hit on both sides, no errors so far here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Gardner delivers the 0-1. A fastball up and away to even the count. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Gardner's got a pretty easy delivery. He doesn't try and overpower you, but it's very finesse on the mound.
1-1, a 2-hopper over to Arias at second. Lobs it to Selma at first for out number 1.
But it's still very tough to, pick up on that fastball from Gardner because he throws it across his body a little bit, has quite a bit of movement.
Go ahead, Jim.
I was just he'll break you down as a hitter. He'll touch all quadrants of the strike zone and then come in with the filthy off speed.
And especially as a lefty, to have that control, to have that ability to change up your speeds, keeps batters off balance. First pitch to Austin Soika upstairs, and Soika walked off last night in a 5-5 ball game against the Academy Baron to end the Riptide regular season. Bottom of the 9th, he lifted a 1-2 count solo shot. Takes a strike on the outside corner to even the count.
And there's almost a little bit of magic to the Orange County Riptide. They love playing in those close games. They'll grind them out, and they'll get big hits. They play for each other.
1-1 in. Half-hearted swing. Pitch was low. Did he go? The appeal down, they say he did. That digs Soika a hole. He's down in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Back in June, these two teams were supposed to match up for a series up in Healdsburg, but there was an accident with the bus company that the Orange County Riptide were supposed to use, and that series ended up getting canceled. So they didn't get to see as much of each other as they wanted to. 1-2 pitch drilled in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the only real taste they really had, the Healdsburg Prune Packers and the Orange County Riptide, was back on Thursday in Fullerton College, and that was a great game. So right now, things are breezing by for both these teams. The 2-2. Lifted the left center field. Fagan on the move, and that drops back to the wall for extra bases. Rounding first, Soika, he's going to second, and he will stand with a 1-out double. The second Riptide hit of the ball game, and they have a runner in scoring position.
Soika has an ability to get on top of baseballs and really line them all over the ballpark. That was not a terrible pitch from Gardner. He tried to elevate a heater and maybe slow down Soika's bat, but his quick hands allowed him to reach that high ball and just line it into left center field. Not a lot of people can do that in any league of baseball, but especially here in the CCL.
Dead center here at Cal Lutheran is the second furthest, only to San Luis Obispo in the CCL. Runners on the move. The first pitch up. The throw to third is a bullet, and it's in time. Mick Nichols absolutely guns down Austin Soika, who thought he was safe. Kevin Sandry with an incredible tag. And that's out number 2. By the way, the batter is Matthew Cooper. Wow, what a throw.
Jake McNichols popping up and just launching a throw. That had to be at least 90 miles an hour to the third baseman. Unbelievable. And also, what a tag by Sandry.
The 1-0 pitch drilled in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes to Matthew Cooper from Clemson. But you're absolutely right. That was one of the nicest throws we've seen from a catcher to third base all season long. For those who don't know, Jordan Brenner and I call Oaks games, but for the playoffs, we take our biases aside, and we serve our audience as unbiased broadcasters. The 2-0 up to left center field. Matthew Cooper under it for out number 3, and no damage is done. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. 2 full. We're through here at George Sparky Anderson Field on the beautiful campus of California Lutheran University. To the top of the 3rd inning we go. Wendell champion Luke Fagan and Kevin Sandry due up. You're watching the first round of the CCL playoffs on the CCL Broadcasting Network. Top of the third inning. Back here, myself, Jonathan Rifkin, joined alongside me, Jordan Brenner. CCL playoff baseball, round one here, the early going. It's no score to the top of the third inning. Wendell Champion the third from the University of Houston digs in here. The first offering from Cassius Ham. This is away for ball one. Champion the third had an incredible June, or Champion the second, I should say. He was batting over 310, but his numbers went down here in the month of July. The 1-0 pitch, hacked and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's still batting a respectable 278, though only 7 RBIs in 70 plate appearances. 1 ball, 1 strike. The CSN product deals low and inside for ball 2. The first of 2 games today, semifinals. Single elimination for the first time in CCL history. It used to be double elimination, the 2-2. Or now it's 2-2. The 2-1 was hacked at and missed. Strike 2, a beautiful 89-mile-an-hour fastball. In years past, the CCL playoff was double elimination. And it was 3 days long. Now it's only 2 days long, and it's single elimination. The 2-2 pitch jammed back. We'll do it again here in a second. But that was a vote by the CCL Board of Regents earlier in the season, or actually prior to the season beginning. And the reason is because the season is so long, it's so grueling. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Champion goes down on 5 pitches for the first punch-out of the game for Cassius Ham. 1 out now. Oh, excuse me, actually the second punch-out of the game. But going back to what I was saying as Luke Fagan steps in, the reason they did this, again, these guys, these baseball players are incredible. They play literally year-round. They have fall ball that starts in September for most of their schools. Then they have about a 2-week hiatus before the regular season starts for college ball. And then some of them have the postseason, and they come over and play college summer ball. First pitch to Fagan, misses upstairs, ball 1. And for someone, I think, in the case, I guess the best case I could give is on the Oaks, Jordan McFarland from Arkansas is the 1-0 pitch. A strike right down Main Street. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Fagan. He was the only CCL player to play in the College World Series. He played in the College World Series, took 1 day off, and then flew out to the West Coast to play the summer collegiate season with the Oaks. The 1-1. Lifted to right field. On the move is Prees. He makes the dive and the catch. Micah Prees stealing a base knock from Luke Fagan, and he secures out number 2.
What a play by Micah Prees in right field. I mean, that was as comfortable a diving catch as I've ever seen. Made a great break on the ball and was right there to make the play. But going back to your point about the grind of the collegiate schedule for these players, it's a full-time job for them. It's not just baseball, but these guys are trying to pursue their degrees also. They go to school. Truly unbelievable how they can stay on top of everything.
First pitch to Kevin Sandry, misses upstairs for ball 1. And I have a little anecdote about how this kind of baseball, this baseball right here, is one of the most purest of sports because they're not only worrying about their futures as baseball players. The 1-0 pitch misses low and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Sandry, who's 0 for 1 today. But they're worrying about their life. I mean, these guys are mostly adults for all intents and purposes that have their whole lives ahead of them. They have to think beyond baseball. They have to think alternatives to baseball. The 2-0. Cracked over to short. Gomez is there. Over to first. Out number 3, made by Mason McWhorter. So we'll have to leave it there, but we'll pick up why this is the most pure form of baseball on the other side of the break. For the second consecutive inning, Ham has himself a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base, no score. To the bottom of the third inning we go on the CCL Broadcasting Network. Bottom of the third inning, Chase Sebi, Thomas Delgadillo, and Paul Gomez, the 3-2 up. That's the bottom three. The Riptide have had a player on base in the first 2 innings, but the first inning ended with a double play. The second inning saw Austin Soika caught at third base trying to steal, and then Matthew Cooper to fly out. So they've yet to strand any runners. Chase Sebi digs in here from Ball State. The first pitch, a beautiful slider, though it misses inside for ball 1. That started very far towards the left-handed batter's box and came all the way inside and just missed the inside corner. Gardner delivers the 1-0, up and away. 2-0 the count.
And what makes Gardner so hard to read is every pitch that he throws comes out of the exact same slot. His fastball, his cutter, his slider, they all look the same for the first 2 seconds.
Sebi takes ball 4. It actually skinned the inside part of his jersey, and that's a hit by a pitch. So the man second on the team in batting average, Chase Sebi, who was batting .344, gets hit for his second time all season long. He's on first base. He does have 1 stolen base in 1 try. Thomas Delgadillo now digging in. He leads the team in batting average, a .456 mark, 15 RBIs, 4 home runs. Lifts one to right center field, though not very hard. Dane Toftelin makes way for the center fielder, Luke Fagan. Gloves it for out number 1. Chase Sebi back to first base. Gardner's very good at bouncing back. We saw him give up a single to Steve Kerr, and then he forced a ground ball the next at-bat to Mike Capriz. The second inning, he gave up a double to Austin Soika and then forced Matthew Cooper to fly out. He doesn't shy away from batters after he makes a mistake, and that's a mindset you really want, especially here in the playoffs.
Yeah, he likes to elevate his fastball, and on a day like this where the ball's not carrying, that's very effective.
Paul Gomez steps in and takes a first pitch strike. He's from the University of Missouri. On the season, .259 batting average, 12 RBIs. No homers. Let's have 7 extra base hits. Takes another strike. Belt high on the inside corner. No balls and 2 strikes for him. This is a pitcher's duel right now. Cassius Ham. He's retired 7 straight on the OC Riptide side of things. And Chase Gardner's only given up 2 hits. But overall, he's been very good.
He hasn't struck out a batter yet, but we haven't seen him bury a slider in the dirt. Look for that here.
The 0-2. Fastball upstairs, and I think that's a good waste pitch, too. I know
that's the other option.
I was going to say, you called the wrong one, and he made you look like a fool, but for all intents and purposes, that's a really good pitch with an 0-2 count. Maybe look for the slider here. He's thrown 2 straight fastballs. Gardner toes the rubber, rocks and fires the 1-2. That is a slider. And Gomez able to fight it off in a valiant effort to keep the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And the thing about Gardner, that's not his sharpest today. The slider is catching a little bit too much plate. Lucky for Gardner, though, it has quite a bit of movement. It's hard to square up. But in order to miss bats, you have to place it a little bit better.
The southpaw delivers the 1-2 fastball. Lined out of play, and we'll do it again. Crowd beginning to fill in here a little bit to our right. Still only a handful of fans to our left. Though we expect for the second game of the day, that being the Santa Barbara Foresters versus the Conejo Oaks, an absolutely packed house. The Santa Barbara Foresters traveling better than any team in the CCL. They're also not too far away, so it makes sense. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gardner, 1-2. Beautiful fastball. Swung on and missed by Gomez. There's his first punch out of the ball game. You called it, though, Jordan. You said he was probably going to get a strikeout in this at-bat. It wasn't by a slider, but nonetheless, that's a K on the board.
That was a fastball, had some 2-seam action to it. Started on the outer half against the righty, and it just kept breaking away and away. And Gomez just couldn't reach it. His bat wasn't long enough.
2 away, runner on first. Sebi was hit by a pitch to lead off things here in the bottom of the third. Delgadillo flew out and Gomez struck out. Aaron Simpson digs in and swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt, ball 1. He's 0 for 1 today. He's at the top of the OC order. Flew out to right his first time up to begin the ball game. Healdsburg was in the number 2 seed up until yesterday. Again, it was based on percentage, win percentage, not based on how many wins you get. The 0-1, a slider. High and deep to left field. Sanderson at the track, at the wall, and he makes the catch for out number 3. That is the Achilles heel here in Sparky Anderson Field. That wind blowing from the valley to right field. That ball would have been gone otherwise. But instead, the third inning is over. No runs, no hits, no errors, and man left on base. So the fourth inning we go. No score here. It's a good one. Round number 1 of the CCL playoffs right here on the CCL Broadcasting Network. The fourth inning is upon us here in game number 1 of the day in the CCL playoffs. No score. And for all things play-by-play, I'm delighted to hand it off to my broadcasting partner, Jordan Brenner.
Thank you, Jonathan. Wonderful job today. Welcome back to the field. A 0-0 ball game in the top of the fourth as Ben Sanderson comes to the plate for his second plate appearance. Fastball, 88 miles an hour, is away 1-0. Sanderson doubled in his first and only plate appearance. It was a grounder down the left field line. Beautifully placed as the 1-0 pitch comes in. A line shot, but right into the glove of Mason McWhorter at first base. Sanderson stole a hit his first time up. That time, the Riptide stole one from him. One away.
I think Mason McWhorter, who's more known for his bat, is underrated as a first baseman. He was in position right there, and don't get me wrong, that looks easy. It's not, because you have to make sure that your glove is aligned with the ball, and it's coming at you so fast. A lot of guys actually miss that or move out of the way. McWhorter didn't even flinch, and that was a great catch.
Cassius Ham comes set as Brian Arias, the do-it-all player, swings and misses at the first pitch.
And he's probably the biggest prospect to watch here in this game.
Yeah, talk about doing everything. 10 home runs, 365, 44 RBIs is what is facing Ham on the mound. 0-1, comes set. The pitch, off speed in the dirt. A ball and a strike. Cassius Ham has been sharp so far today. Has struck out a couple batters. He's only surrendered one hit. That came to Sanderson in the first, but since then he's been flawless. 1-1. Just outside. Just off the corner. 2-1. Whoever strikes first in this ball game will have an enormous advantage. Get those nerves off your back. 2-1 comes in, and it's away as well. 3-1.
And how about this? Brian Arias, in 55 games for the University of Texas San Antonio, batted .335. That led the team. He had 8 home runs and 35 RBIs. And that team went 32-24. They had a pretty good season, and he was the biggest reason that UTSA was so good.
3-1 pitch comes in, but it's off the plate, and Arias draws a walk. First walk on the game for the Healdsburg Prune Packers. As Jake McNichols comes in, the catcher from Santa Clara.
The catcher, number 17, Jake McNichols.
Struck out swinging in the first inning. That ended that inning. A .303 hitter. 14 home runs from behind the plate. Talk about some serious pop. Runner on first, 1 out. First pitch comes in, curveball. Breaks to the outside corner. At the knees, 0-1.
The breaking pitch, for Chase Gardner and Cassius Ham have been the biggest reason why there's no score right now. They have been keeping batters off balance all game long.
Next pitch, a fastball. Starts over the plate, but two-seam action brings it inside, 1-1. There is heavy action in the Healdsburg bullpen. We mentioned in the pregame show, Chase Gardner doesn't love to go deep in ball games. 1-1, at least at this stage of his career. That's a strike on the outer half, 1-2.
Yeah, 4 2/3, Jordan, was his longest outing.
5 innings,
excuse me, 5 innings, straight 5 innings is the longest outing. Before that, it was 4 2/3, but he never had a pitcher of record. He was 0-0 coming into today.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Ham comes set the pitch. Fastball, threw it right by him. A big swing and a miss. And McNichols has been held at base so far. He's 0 for 2 with 2 swinging strikeouts.
And he did have 42 on the season. That was second on the team, only to Sam Wesniak, who had 43. But that was in 146 plate appearances, so it's not like he struck out a lot. He still had 100 plate appearances where he didn't strike out, but right now he's 0 for 2 with 2 Ks.
First pitch, runner goes high. And that bag was stolen off of Cash's hand. Brian Arias easily over to second base. And now runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Selma, the batter from Cal, is 0 for 1. Popped out to first base, his only time up today. 1-0. Ham comes set from the belt, gets his sign, checks the runner. And here's the toss. Inside, 2-0.
Yeah, Arias was 12 for 15 in stolen bases at San Antonio this past season. In the regular season of the CCL, he only stole 2 of 3 times. So a little bit more timid, but right there, gets himself into scoring position.
2 balls, no strikes. Ham checks the runner again, lifts his knee, and there's a ground ball through the right side, base hit. They're going to send Arias. The throw to the plate is a good one, and it is in time to nab him at the plate. What a throw by Micah Prees in right field to end the Healdsburg threat. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. We're still scoreless. To the bottom of the 4th we go on the CCL Broadcasting Network.
Steve Curry.
Second baseman Steve Curry will lead off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The top of the 4th ended on a spectacular play. A 9-1 throw out as the first pitch is 83 up and away, 1-0. 9-2, excuse me. Micah Prees got a base hit off the bat of Selma. Charged the ball and threw out Brian Arias trying to score. 1-0 in the dirt, 2-0 now.
That throw from right field will be a highlight for years to come on the reel of Mr. Micah Prees.
No doubt about it. One of the best throws we've seen all season. And on the biggest stage, 2-0. Fly ball, center field, medium deep. Luke Fagan tracks. He's under it, and he makes the grab for the first out of the inning. 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th. We're still scoreless. We've seen some scoring opportunities, some hard-hit balls. Been 2 fly balls to deep left center field, which has 375 feet from the plate. And really in any other ballpark in the CCL, those are home runs, but not here. A swing and a foul tip from Mike Capriz, and he's down 0-1.
Yeah, because we're in this little valley down the San Fernando Mountains over to our left, the wind always comes down off that mountain and blows to right field, and it makes it very hard for right-handed hitters to pull balls out of here.
Capriz, ground ball left side. Wozniak backhand, trips, but still gets the throw off in time over to first base. 6-3 on the putout, and Mike Capriz is 0 for 2. 2 ground outs. In the first inning, he grounded into an unassisted 4-3 double play. Mason McWhorter also grounded out to second base in his only plate appearance. He's 0 for 1. First baseman has been playing good defense today, though. And another left-on-left matchup for the Riptide. Gardner continues to grind along. First pitch, slider right on in there, 0-1.
And how about that play from Wozniak? He bobbled himself. He didn't bobble the ball. He tripped over himself on the backhand and still was able to make a play. But you have to give credit to Quentin Selma at first. He dug deep for that ball.
0-1 to McWhorter. The pitch, another swing and a miss way out in front of that slider. And 0-2, Chase Gardner on some type of roll right now.
Pitcher's duel to the max right now.
0-2, 2 outs. The pitch, that's his third straight slider, this time low, and McWhorter lays off.
This, especially against a lefty, is the time where you go fastball up and in. Because you saw 3 sliders, you've established the inner part of the plate and the outer part of the plate. See if you can get him hacking at a high fastball.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The kick and the pitch. Another slider down and away, and we're even at 2-2.
And I think he's trying to pull the old Chris Sale card and throw an outside slider to a lefty and have him chasing. The problem is that McWhorter is very patient.
From the belt, the 2-2 pitch. Fastball this time, in and out of the glove of Gardner, recovers and tosses it over to first base for a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We head to the 5th, scoreless in the semifinals between the Riptide and the Packers. We'll be right back. You're watching Playoff Baseball on the CCL Broadcasting Network.
Sam Wozniak.
Schaff is nifty defending in the previous half inning. Sam Wozniak comes to the plate. The Cal shortstop's 0 for 1 today. Fly out to right field. Leads off here in the top of the 5th inning. Cassius Ham, who's been dealing on the mound, still out there, and he comes set for the first pitch of the inning. A fastball swung through 0-1.
Dane Tofteland back on Monday against the Slow Blues. Hit a walk-off homer for the Packers. Looking for some renewed energy right here.
Next pitch called a strike, 0-2. Wozniak had a base-clearing double against Conejo yesterday. Part of their big rally in that one, but he swings and misses and strikes out on 3 pitches. Chalk that up as number 4 for Cassius Ham.
Excuse me, that was Sam Wozniak. I was talking about Dane Tofteland, who's stepping in right now. I meant to say the man on deck. With 1 out, Tofteland is actually very good when there's nobody on base, believe it or not. That's when he gets the majority of his hits. I don't know if it's a mindset. I don't know if he's just lucky that way, but whatever the case is, with nobody on base, he's very good at getting base hits.
Tofflin, off-speed pitch on the edge, 0-1. Tofflin 0 for 1 with a flyout. Cassius Ham is throwing every pitch he has for a strike. Curveballs, fastballs, changeups. 0-1. Another strikeout or half, 0-2. And when he's in this type of role, it's hard for anybody to hit him, even the potent lineup of Healdsburg. No balls, 2 strikes. Infield and outfield straight away. Here's the pitch. Off speed, a big swing and a miss. Started up top, ended at the knees, and that's strikeout number 5 for Cassius Ham.
How do you hit that, Jordan? It starts up at 12. Whatever's below 6, that's where it ends, because I don't think 6 is low enough on the clock to really show how much topspin that curveball has. And right now, that kept Wozniak off balance. It kept Tofflin off balance, and Ham absolutely cruising with that curveball.
We got ourselves quite a pitcher's duel today. Gardner and Ham, they have their best stuff. Wendell Champion, strikeout victim in his only plate appearance, swings through the first pitch, 89 at the knees, 0-1.
That's what Ham will give you. He'll give you a 74-mile-an-hour curveball and then go up at 89-91 on the fastball.
0-1 pitch, inside this time at 90 miles an hour, a ball and a strike.
And that's a repertoire you want as an effective pitcher. Mix up your speeds, mix up your locations, and keep batters off balance.
Curveball, did it hit him? No, it just broke inside of Champion's left shoulder. And it's 2-1. A hitter's count. Champion plays his collegiate ball at the University of Houston. All kinds of tools on this player. 2-1. Fly ball, deep right field. Breeze, back, track, wall, get out of there, and it is. The scoreless tie is broken on Champion opposite field blast to right field. Healdsburg on top, 1-0 in the playoffs, this semifinal matchup. What a shot.
Cassius Ham gave up 2 home runs all season for the Riptide. Gives up perhaps the biggest one so far in his CCL career right there to Wendell Champion. He only had 1 home run also on the regular season. So both these guys not used to either giving up home runs or hitting home runs, but it doesn't matter. All previous stats are race, and Wendell Champion starting anew with a big bomb.
Curveball in there, a first pitch strike to Luke Fagan. And in a pitcher's duel like this, that run is extra significant. You never know, that could be the difference in the ball game. 0-1 pitch, and Ham right back at it. Touches the inside corner on the off-speed pitch, 0-2.
I was going to say that the first team to score wins, but I don't think that's the case. I think the first team with a 2 or 3 run lead will end up pulling away here.
0-2, just outside, 1-2.
And the reason I say that is because Orange County is so well equipped offensively from top to bottom to overcome a small deficit.
1-2, a line shot well out of play to the left side, into the desert on the left side at Cal Lutheran. Wonderful surroundings all over this ballpark. Ham struck out the first 2 batters of the inning swinging. Hung a fastball to Champion. He did not miss it. 1-2, tries to elevate the heater, but it's too high. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Another question for Ham. What do you do here with 2 outs? What's the mindset that you need to have after giving up the tie ball game, I should say?
Next pitch fouled out of play, right side. We'll do 2-2 again.
And I'll tell you what, we saw a home run or a potential home run that was caught in left field earlier in the ball game. That was because of the wind. Well, you see here at Sparky Anderson, a lot of fields go over the right field fence, or home runs go over the right field fence because of that wind picking it up. I don't think that would have been a home run otherwise without the wind for Champion.
2-2, comes set the pitch, curveball inside, 3-2. And Healdsburg, 5 players with at least 5 home runs this season, but it was Wendell Champion who went deep, only his 2nd blast this year, and that's a tough walk for Cassius Ham. On the full count pitch, fastball was way outside, and Luke Fagan is aboard.
Mental mistakes now on the mound for Orange County. That's a problem because you don't want to gift Healdsburg any base runners. You don't want to give them momentum. The momentum has shifted. Orange County seemed like they were in the driver's seat, even though it was a tie ball game. Their offense was working a little bit more consistent than Healdsburg, but after two beautiful strikeouts, Wendell Champion shifted the momentum to Healdsburg's side, and right now it's showing.
Only the second walk of the ball game for Cassius Ham. He's on the ropes right now as Kevin Sandry, the leadoff hitter, comes in to the batter's box. 0 for 2 today. First pitch off speed, a little bit high, 1-0. Sandry hitting .444. Unbelievable stuff. Quite a bit of speed as well. 1-0 pitch. Here it is. High drive left field, not deep enough. Delgadillo is under it, and he makes the grab to end the frame. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left aboard. Wendell Champion comes through in the clutch. An opposite field blast puts Healdsburg up 1-0. But this game is far, far from over. We head to the bottom of the 5th. You're watching playoff baseball on the CCL Broadcasting Network. Back for the bottom of the 5th inning. A pitching change for Healdsburg as Nick Candelaria comes into the game. Plays college ball at Texas Tech. Comes set, first pitch. High and inside, 1-0. To Austin Soika. Chase Gardner, he was fantastic today. 4 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. 1-0 pitch. Just inside again, 2-0. Nick Candelaria this year, 17 1/3 frames. An ERA at 3.63. Struck out 23 batters as well. 2-0. Finally catches the inside corner, 91 miles an hour. And the count is 2-1. 2-1 pitch. High and inside. 3 balls and a strike. Candelaria struggling to find the zone right here. Riptide came into the ball game with all the momentum. 2 straight walk-offs. 3-1 pitch, high and inside, and that's a 5-pitch walk to Soika, who reaches base for the second time today. His first time up, he doubled to center field, but was later caught stealing at third.
And I think for the Riptide, the key to the game now and coming back, and you just saw right there for Austin Soika, was going deep in counts, waiting on pitches until you see your pitch. If it doesn't come, try to just go deep in counts, force these pitchers to throw a lot of pitches, and try to get them off the mound.
First pitch is a strike, 0-1.
The more arms you can exhaust on the opposing side, the better position you're in, because that means even if you're not scoring runs, you're still finding a way to get back in the driver's seat.
0-1 pitch to Cooper, ground ball shortstop. The pitch to second base. The relay over to first base is in time. 6-4-3. Wozniak to Arias. The relay over to Selma for the first 2 outs of the inning.
Wow, that middle infield is something special, isn't it? The Cal Golden Bear to the UTSA Roadrunner, back to the Cal Golden Bear. That is
Catcher number
absolute
20, Chase
fundamental
Subby.
double play right there. You cannot do it any better than Wozniak to Arias to Selma.
Chase Sebi, no official at-bats today, but he was hit by a pitch in his only plate appearance. Doing the duties behind the plate today. Candelaria comes set, here's the pitch. Fastball high, 1-0. The Riptide, they're used to getting out of pickles. I mentioned the 2 walk-offs. They embrace the big moments. They embrace it when their backs are against the wall. 1-0 pitch, catches the outside corner, a ball and a strike. So in the Riptide's mind, they're right in this ball game. 1-1 pitch. Off speed, drops in at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. What a filthy pitch from Candelaria. 2 outs, nobody on. Soika walked, but Matthew Cooper grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. 1-2 pitch, fastball. Sebi gets under it, popped out into the infield. The third baseman loses the ball. It's actually in fair territory. It went off of Sandri's glove. The wind was blowing that baseball all over the place. And all of a sudden, a runner on second on the in-score. An unforced error from Wozniak. Didn't have to throw that ball. He decided to anyway. Through the side armor to Selma. It bounced and got away from him. And all of a sudden, we're tied at 1.
And the sad thing is, if you're Nick Candelaria, that's an unearned run. You didn't really do anything to push that run across, as already Coach Joey Gomes is going to have a conversation with his infield. Again, that's a problem because unforced errors are something you can't do. We talked about it on the Riptide side of things when they are on the defensive side. And now it happens on the Healdsburg side of things, and all of a sudden, it's back to a tie ball game.
And I think this is a very good mound meeting for head coach Joey Gomes. You know, something weird just happened. An infield double, and then an error scores Chase Sebi. You don't see that too often, so he grabs the whole infield, has a conversation, trying to get his boys to get out of this inning. But all of a sudden, Orange County ties this ball game. A run on 3 hits, 2 errors for Healdsburg. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for Orange County. Candelaria checks the runner at second base. A swing and a miss from Paul Gomez. It's 0-1. Gomez struck out, swinging his only time up to the plate. Delgadillo advanced to second base on the throwing error from Wozniak. 0-1. Candelaria comes set, checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Off speed, fouled out of play to the right side. Bounces towards the pool area. It's 0-2. Both teams were scoreless through 4 innings. And then each squad has added 1 run in the 5th inning. However, the Riptide aren't finished yet. 0-2, 2 outs. Started to swing, but it's off the bat of Gomez. And it's a foul ball.
You know what's funny here, Jordan, is the discrepancy in how both teams got on the board. It was a 2-out homer by Wendell Champion, opposite field for the Healdsburg Prune Packers. And on the other side for the Riptide, 2 consecutive errors that allowed the Riptide to score. Very interesting stuff here in the playoffs to put both these teams, on the board early.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Buried it down and away, did Candelaria, and that's going to end the frame. But the Riptide get a run on a hit, 2 errors, and they strand a runner on second base. We're through 5 to the 6th we go. A 1-1 ball game on the CCL Broadcasting Network. leads off. Ben Sanderson leads off the top of the 6th inning. He's 1 for 2 with a double. He's hit the ball hard 2 times, though, as the first pitch comes in low from Cassius Ham. Still on the mound. Only gave up 1 hard hit. Next pitch comes in and actually hits Sanderson, and he's aboard with the hit by pitch.
No, it didn't. The umpire's saying that it missed him, and now they're talking.
There's some confusion for sure.
Sanderson thought it hit him. The umpire disagrees.
Joey Gomes is going to walk over to the umpire and talk with him about the confusion on the play, because Sanderson clearly thought that ball hit him in the leg.
Yeah, and he was so convinced. I mean, I didn't see the trajectory of the ball change from the time it left the hands to the time it hit the dirt. I don't know if it hit him or not. It might have skinned him, but they're calling him back. Coach Gomes, maybe not happy with the explanation, but he doesn't argue too much. And the home plate umpire calls back Sanderson, but he is ahead in the count 2-0.
Cassius Ham back on the rubber. 2-0 pitch. Come set, here it is. High chopper, second baseman, fielded Curry, sidearm over to first in time to McWhorter for the first out of the inning. So Sanderson thought he was going to be awarded at first base on the hit by pitch. Pitch later, he grounds out to second base. New hitter Brian Arias. No hits so far today, but he's made his presence felt. He's been aboard 2 times, once on a fielder's choice, and the next time on a walk. Was thrown out at the plate by a beautiful throw from Micah Prees. Ground ball through the left side, a base hit for Arias. Takes a hard turn at first base, but he's going to stay there with the 4th hit of the ball game for the Healdsburg Prune Packers.
And he's the key, I think, for the Packers today if they win, and especially tomorrow in the championship game if they do move on from this game. The reason he's the key, he's been on base all 3 times. 1 walk and 2 hits. The biggest aspect, I think, for him, and actually he only has 1 hit, but he reached base in the first inning by way of fielder's choice, but he's the smartest player on the base path. He knows how to run very well.
Jake McNichols takes a hammer that drops in at the knee, zone 1.
But now with Arias on first base with only 1 out, this is a big spot for McNichols, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, because if he can make contact and advance the runner over, that could mean almost everything for the Packers here.
0-1 low, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. McNichols, one of the most dominant hitters in the CCL, but today 0 for 2 with 2 swinging strikeouts. Hasn't been able to pick up the spin on Ham's curveball very well. There it is. He begins to go. The peel over to first confirms that he did not swing, and it's 2-1. Was clearly confused on that pitch, but was able to save himself. What a dogfight we're in. 1 run for each team so far. 2-1 with an out the pitch. McNichols pops one up, left field. Medium deep. Delgadillo under it and finally makes the play. Lost it in the sun and the wind blew it all around, but still recovered in time to make the play. 2 outs in the inning.
Delgadillo should go join Cirque du Soleil with that circus theatrical catch he made out there and left. A little bit harder than it should have been, but as you mentioned, he probably got lost in the sun, but tracked that ball down regardless.
Quinton Selma, the powerful lefty, swings through a high heater. 0-1. Plays his collegiate ball at the University of California, Berkeley. He's a Golden Bear looking for a golden moment, maybe right here. 1-1 ball game. Runner on first, 2 outs. The pitch, another swing and a miss, off speed, buried in the dirt, and it's 0-2.
That is some serious confidence from Ham, assuming that he would be able to get Selma digging at 1 in the dirt, and he did. Good release, good timing, and a rough swing by Selma.
Ham checks the runner. From the belt, the pitch. Fastball away. He wastes one. It's 1-2. Selma digs on in there. Ham checks the runner as he normally does. Big lead. The runner doesn't go. Ground ball through the right side. A base hit. Arias round second, heads to third base, and goes first to third on the base hit from Quinton Selma. His second base hit of the day. Both have come to right field.
How about the damage being done in the majority of this game with 2 outs on both sides for this team? They scored on a 2-out home in the 5th inning by Wendell Champion right here. They got a runner in Brian Arias in scoring position at third with 2 outs. And on the Orange County side of things, they scored with 2 outs as well on an error. Both teams manufacturing base hits, manufacturing runs, all late in innings.
The corners are occupied. First pitch to Wozniak, fastball high. 1-0. And how about the trust between head coach Jason Smith of the Riptide and his pitcher Cassius Ham? Nobody warming up in the Riptide bullpen. This is his inning. 1-0 pitch. Wozniak lines a base hit to center field. It drops and it's all the way to the wall. One comes in to score. Selma rounds third, but the play is cut off, and there are going to be runners at the corners. Look down at my scorebook, and all of a sudden the ball was quickly into third. What a recovery from the Riptide.
The right fielder, number 29.
But anyways, Healdsburg back on top, 2-1.
Big hit right there from Sam Wozniak yesterday against the Caneo Oaks in the final regular season game. He had a big 3 RBI double right there, coming in clutch once again for the Prune Packers. He puts him back on top with a short fly ball to center. Simpson made a valiant effort, but just couldn't secure it, and that allowed the run to come in.
So same situation where we were just in. Runners at the corners with 2 outs, but this time Healdsburg has a 2-1 lead. It doesn't get any easier. Dane Toughlin is the new hitter. Ham kicks and fires. Curveball in there. Strike 1, 0-1. Toughlin 0 for 2, a strikeout, a flyout. Oh, 1. Ham takes a long look at the runner at first base and delivers a curveball outside to the 304 hitter. 3 home runs, 19 RBIs. Tied for the lead in doubles on the team, though. 1-1 pitch, curveball, ground ball, in and out of the glove or the hands of head coach Johnny Gomes, playing third base coach Joey Gomes. Johnny Gomes is his famous Major League Baseball brother.
Yeah, if he had a glove over there in the coaching box, I'm sure he would have made the play.
1-2 to Toughlin. Ham launches the pitch. 86 high and away, 2-2. Sticky situation for the Riptide, trying to maneuver themselves out of this inning. 2-2, 2 outs, 2 on. 2-1, Healdsburg, the pitch. Curveball hits the front elbow of Toughlin.
No, they're saying it hit the barrel of his, or the handle of his bat. They're saying it hit the knob.
And Joey Gomes, for the second time this inning, is going to have a conversation with the umpire as we finally see some action in the Orange County Riptide bullpen.
Yeah, it looks like number 34, Brandon Ivy, is warming up for them. But another questionable hit by a pitch. I think it came off the knob of the bat at the bottom because we heard it. We heard a clunk, and you don't hear a clunk off of skin. You hear more of a slap. And so that's why I think the home plate umpire also believed that it came off the bat. And after discussion, I don't know if Coach Gomes likes the result, but nonetheless. And now Coach Smith is going to come out and have a conversation. And I'm not exactly sure what the official call is now that both coaches are out here. And remember the last time the Riptide were here 2 Sundays ago, they played the Oaks and Coach Smith was actually tossed.
Yes, he was, and he waited on the team bus for the team to finish up.
But nope, they're going to call it a foul ball. And that's the second questionable hit by a pitch. And it was really funny. You could see Toughlin actually shaking his elbow, trying to sell it, almost like a soccer flop, if you will.
Hold on, Jonathan. I don't know if that was a foul ball. I think they're saying that pitch would have been a strike. I'm not even sure, but the count is full. I'm pretty sure it was a 2-2 count.
No, it was still a 3-2 count.
All right. So it was off the bat. 3-2 runner goes. This time it hits Tofflin, no doubt about it, on the front shoulder. And now the bases are loaded.
And someone in the Healdsburg dugout yelled, "The ball don't lie." That's exactly what I was going to say in the famous words of Rasheed Wallace. Maybe he was hit on the first attempt, and
champion, the second.
It was just a missed call, and now it looks like Coach Smith will come out and have a conversation with his pitcher.
Not sure if Cassius Ham's day is done, but we'll find out, and yes, it is done. So the bases are loaded. Here in the bottom of the sixth inning, we'll give you the new pitcher and the final line on Cassius Ham when we come back on the CCL Broadcasting Network. Brandon Ivy, the new pitcher from the University of Texas, is in the ball game now, replacing Cassius Ham. And Ivy's first test will be a stiff one. Wendell Champion, who homered in his last at-bat, is the challenge. First pitch on the outside corner, 79 miles an hour, called a strike.
What a situation here, Jordan, to be thrown into. 2 outs. You're trying to protect or trying to minimize the lead with bases loaded.
0-1, Champion trying to hit another home run. Swings through 86 outside, 0-2. Final line on Cassius Ham, 5 2/3, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. 0-2, bases loaded to Champion. The pitch, high on the fastball, 87 miles an hour for a ball. Dane Tofflin is at first base. Sam Wesniak is at second base, and Quentin Selma at third. The pitch gets away, and Healdsburg comes in to score another run. Quentin Selma races home on the pitch that gets away from Sebi, and the score is now 3-1 in favor of Healdsburg.
That run is accredited to Ham, but I was going to say, preceding that pitch, that I think Ivy should bury one, but in a way where it would bounce off of Sebi's chest protector. He buried one, but it got away from Sebi, and that allowed a run to come in.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and the frame is over. The threat is neutralized. Not before. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. Hold on, folks. There is some drama going on as the Riptide and Healdsburg sides exchanging words. The Riptide haven't even returned to their bench yet.
Yeah, and Coach Smith is yelling at the other team. The Packers out of their dugout, too, were yelling, and there are fines for ejections. But right now, nobody getting tossed.
Yeah, both teams have calmed down, and now we head to break. 3-1 Healdsburg. When we come back, the Riptide try to come back again here on the CCL Broadcasting Network. Paul Gomez looks at a ball on the first pitch from Nick Candelaria. It's 1-0. Digs back in there, and here's the 1-0 pitch. Hit hard right field. Dane Tofflin back and makes a catch over his shoulders for the first out of the inning. Gomez is now 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. As we're back to the top of the order for Orange County, Aaron Simpson comes to the plate.
Baseman number 7, Steve Curry.
Actually, that was Aaron Simpson who flied out to right field right there. And now it's going to be Steve Curry, as the first pitch is 91 miles an hour inside. Steve Curry had a base hit, was thrown out at second base, and he's also flied out. 1-0 pitch misses low and away, 2-0.
Patience for the Riptide. Get deep in counts and try to drive one once you are deep in counts.
2-0 lifted right center field. Tofflin back towards the track, and he leaps again and makes another running spectacular catch. Two wonderful plays by Tofflin in right field, robbing 2 hits from Orange County and a quick 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th.
And the Riptide are screaming at Healdsburg right now. And
What
so
is
is
going
Healdsburg.
on?
They said that he dropped the ball. I don't even know what's going on. Coach Smith is running out to the umpire. They're saying that he dropped the ball in the transfer. And now he's screaming at the first base umpire. There is some drama here in game number 1 here, Jordan. What a crazy game.
What a weird play. That looked to be in the glove of Tofflin. They're saying the ball hit the ground on the relay. It's a hard play to call. It's a judgment call. And all these umpires are on the infield, so they didn't have a great look at it. Both teams are furious right now.
And you know what's funny about all of this? The entire Healdsburg Prune Packer team yesterday against the Oaks got a warning from the home plate umpire. He threatened to eject just a random person if they kept up what they were doing. And right here, both teams screaming. Half the Riptide dugout came out, but now only a couple players on the field. And now finally, Coach Smith had the home plate umpire round up everybody out there at second base.
And the fans are getting in on the action, too. Everybody's upset with the call. Healdsburg wants that to remain a catch, and obviously Orange County strongly believes that that came out of the glove of Tofflin and is a double. There's a meeting going on between all 3 umpires on the infield.
Everybody's an umpire at a baseball game, Jordan.
And what a significant call in this ball game. I mean, that's the difference between 2 outs, nobody on, and 1 out runner in scoring position for a Riptide team trying to claw themselves back into this ball game.
There's still a conversation. Tofflin out and right didn't even come in to have a conversation. He's just standing out there, and that's the right move. If you're the fielder in that situation, a lot of times you'll see fielders try to defend themselves. They'll try to get or they'll get emotional, and they're calling that down. And Coach Joey Gomes now is going to run out.
Oh yeah, and Joey Gomes is going to get his money's worth here. You can bet on that. Already in the face of the umpire who made the call.
And he's already been talking with these umpires a lot today on some questionable hit-by pitches. So right here, he needs to be careful, I think. The last thing you want to do is get ejected in a CCL playoff game.
But as of now, the call that was made, Steve Curry just doubled in and out of the glove of Dane Tofflin. He stands on second base with 1 out in the inning. And Joey Gomes is still arguing with the umpire.
I think he's trying to argue that the ball was secure. He made the catch. It's almost like a football rule. You have to maintain possession of the ball and secure it before it hits the ground, that's an out. Now, if it hits the ground when you don't have possession of the ball, that's when things get a little bit sticky, and that's the Des Bryant football rule, and that kind of has translated over to baseball because that becomes the gray area of things. You see fielders all the time, especially at second or shortstop, who bobble balls on transfers, and sometimes umpires rule the runner safe, and sometimes they rule them out. Right here, that's the gray area of this call out in right field. Tofflin definitely made the catch, but the question is, did he have full possession of the baseball before the ball hit the ground? And that's the conversation, and that's such a hard call to make as an umpire because you're not out there to watch the entire play. You have to see it from a distance, if you will, and that's where things get a little bit tricky here, especially in a big playoff game.
And I don't see how the umpires could reverse their call right here. They already confirmed their call of a double, and Joey Gomes is still in the face of the umpires. Should get a clock on this argument. He's certainly getting his money's worth. His pitcher, Nick Candelaria, is staying loose out on the mound, throwing some warm-up pitches. Wow, what an unusual game so far. We've seen dropped fly balls on the infield. We've seen home runs to the opposite field.
We saw a dropped pop-up to third base that allowed a runner on first.
Yeah, we've seen everything today. And now we're seeing a heated exchange between head coach Joey Smith and the umpires. And this is coming a half an inning after both of these teams were jawing at each other as we headed to break. This is unbelievable. Every player on both sides, they're standing in their dugout, curious to see what happens here. And at a certain point, the on-plate umpires, they have to end this.
And that's what I was going to say, and they're slowly making their way. Coach Joey Gomes looks like he's beside himself with this call. And the Healdsburg fans to our right are screaming their heads off at the umpires right now, but Coach Gomes is going to be escorted off the field, and I have a feeling the on-plate umpire is saying you have to get back to your dugout or we're going to throw you out of this game.
He's walking with him back to the plate. Joey Gomes hat off in his right hand, scratching his head in confusion, begging for the call. And he's going to stay in the ball game as of now as he finally turns around and heads back to the dugout.
Wow.
That was one of the most exciting exchanges we've seen all season, and we've seen some good ones.
Oh boy, have we, and we've seen some good ones for both of these teams throughout the season up in Healdsburg. There were some good ones on the OC side. Coach Steve Smith got tossed a couple of weeks ago.
Well, I remember Joey Gomes up in Healdsburg was upset when a Chase Cockrell fly ball to right field. The Oaks thought it was a home run. The Packers thought it was a grand rule double. Runner on second, one out. First pitch is away to Mike Capriz, the right fielder. He's 0 for 2 today, 2 ground outs, one of which was for a 4-3 unassisted double play. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. Check of the runner, the kick, and the offering. Inside 2-0.
And the fans to our right still upset with the call. But they're trying to will their Prune Packers on here to try to keep this 3-1 lead. Just that.
Tying runner at the plate. Candelaria checks the runner, kicks and offers. Off speed inside, and the count is 3-0. And what do you know? Mason McWhorter, the powerful first baseman, is on deck. And if he comes to the plate after a walk, he would represent the go-ahead runner. 3 balls, no strikes. A fastball misses away. And that's a 4-pitch walk, and Joey Gomes does not hesitate, comes out to have a meeting on the mound.
And I think that was the only problem with what Coach Gomes did. He played the argument very, very well. The only thing I don't think he took under consideration was how it would affect his pitcher. You saw Candelaria out there, warm-up tosses, but there's nothing like an in-game situation, and that disrupted his flow. And I think Coach Joey Gomes didn't take that into account when he was arguing with the umpire because there was no way that call was going to be overturned no matter how long you argued with them. The only damage that would be done thereafter is to the pitcher.
And we are going to see a pitching change. So Nick Candelaria is done. He'll be greeted by his teammates as he walks over to the dugout. We'll give you the new pitcher and his line and Candelaria's final line when we come back. 2 runners on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Riptide trying to tie or even take the lead in this ballgame. We'll be right back. You're watching CCL Playoff Baseball on the CCL Broadcasting Network.
McWhorter.
Jared Noonan comes into the ball game to replace Nick Candelaria, who went 1 1/3, 2 hits, a run, though it wasn't earned, 2 walks and a strikeout. First pitch, low and away, 1-0 to McWhorter, as Justin Friedman of the Caneo Oaks comes up to hang out with us.
And also Tanner Wright.
And there's Tanner Wright as well. 1-0 pitch, outside, and the count is 2-0. 2 on, 1 away. The Oaks obviously will play later on against the Santa Barbara Foresters. In the other semifinal matchup, 2-0 pitch. It was almost a quick pitch. Dribbler to the right side, but foul and out of play.
If you're Mason McWhorter, his biggest Achilles heel this season has been swinging when he's been up in counts at bad pitches. He's up in a count right now at 2-1. He needs to wait because he will get a fastball over the plate if he continues in a hitter's count.
2-1 with an out. Fly ball left side. It's going to go out of play, though. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And
Jared Noonan, the new pitcher, on the year, 15 1/3 innings and an ERA at 1.76. However, he has not faced a moment as big as this one. 2-2, 2 on, 1 out. The Riptide down by 2 runs. It's 3-1 here. 2-2 pitch to McWhorter. Swings through it, a fastball. Pumped right by him. 86 on the outer half for the second out of the inning. The first strikeout for Noonan on the ball game.
And that's exactly what I was saying. He was ahead in the count 2-1. He swung at a bad low and away fastball that fouled off to even the count. And then another fastball that he missed. I think if he took that pitch previously and he had a 3-1 count, he would have gotten a more hitter-friendly pitch.
Austin Soika, first pitch swinging. Fouls it out of play towards the pool area to the right side. Soika is 1 for 1 today with a double to center field. He's also walked. One of the big boys in the middle of this lineup. 0-1 pitch. Runner goes to third. And McNichols has no play. An easy stolen base for Steve Curry to third base.
And you know McNichols wanted another one down the third base. He nabbed Austin Soika back in the second on one of the nicest throws we've seen over to third base all season long. Right there, though, he bobbled the ball and ended up not making a throw.
1-1 pitch. Fastball. Fly ball right field down the line. And down against the wall. 1 run is in. The second run will hold at third base, but the Riptide cut into the lead 3-2 in favor of Healdsburg on the double down the right field line. For a second, I thought that could have carried out of here.
Every run that has been scored today, so far all 5 combined, have come with 2 outs in this ball game. Both these teams are so resilient. They're working so hard. And right now they're coming through. That was an incredible play to get the ball in by Dane Toftlin and Wright because that could have easily been a tie ball game, but he recovered very nicely and held that tying runner over at third base.
Brandon Alamo's pinch hitting here. Takes a first pitch curveball in the outer half, 0-1. Cooper finishes the day 0 for 2. Runners on second and third. 1 around, 2 hits so far in the bottom of the 6th inning. Next pitch, fastball, lined hard. but he was late on it. It goes out of play to the left side. It's 0-2.
And Alamo, a normal starter from Stony Brook, was kept on the bench for a situation like this. He has a good bat. He can hit a home run. And now a righty on lefty matchup, though he's dug himself in a hole.
0-2 to Alamo. Fastball 86 away. And it's 1-2. Alamo's hitting .286 this year, 2 home runs. Hits one hard. Will it drop? The center fielder, Fagan, had a good jump on that ball, and he makes the play to retire the side. A run on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on. The Riptide, however, get one back and cut into the lead. 3-2 Healdsburg as we head to the 7th. What a riveting ball game so far. Don't go anywhere. You're listening and watching to CCL Playoff Baseball on the CCL Broadcasting Network.
For the Prune backers, the center fielder number 10.
To the top of the 7th we go, 3-2 Healdsburg. For all things play-by-play, here's Jonathan Rifkin.
Thank you, Jordan. Phenomenal job as always. I hope everybody's enjoying their Saturday afternoon. No matter how you're watching or where you're watching, we appreciate you making playoff baseball a part of your day. The first pitch from Brandon Ivy, called a strike on the outside corner. Luke Fagan is the batter. He's 0 for 1 today with a fly out to right and a walk. Bunts one down, back to the mound. Ivy is there, turns, fires, and gets him for out number 1. What a play by Brandon Ivy.
And that's why you do PFPs before the season. That's a tough play, but fielded very nicely from Ivy, and he throws one right on the money. As Nick Ringcover is also going to come up and join us up here.
Yeah, slew of Caneo Oaks hanging out with us up on the press box prides for their big game.
And we saw both Friedman and Ringcover yesterday in the Oaks clincher.
First pitch, high deep drive to left field. Sandry digs deep, and it's down to the wall for extra bases. The ball is bobbled by Sanderson. Sandry's going to look at third, but he will hold, and that is a stand-up double for Kevin Sandry. He's now 1 for 4, and that could be a big insurance run for the Healdsburg Prune Packers.
I'll tell you what, Kevin Sandry just doesn't stop hitting. Here's a guy who has a number of plate appearances up there with the most plate appearances on the team, but he's still hitting .444. He runs well, he hits the ball hard, and he's a handful for opposing pitchers.
And Brandon Ivy seldom gives up extra base hits, gives up one right there, and that could be a big one. Ben Sanderson stepping in, he's 1 for 3, a double, a line out, and a ground out. Takes a ball low and away. 2 runs, 5 hits for the OC Riptide, 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Healdsburg Prune Packers.
Crowd filling in nicely in this close ball game.
One of these teams will head home. One will remain in the playoffs and play in the championship tomorrow. The 1-0 offering. This is low. 2 balls and no strikes. Lefty on lefty matchup, and oftentimes you hear about left-handed batters being phased by left-handed pitchers. There are times, though, when left-handed pitchers are also phased by left-handed batters because they have to work on a side of the plate that they're not used to, especially because there are more righty batters just naturally in the game of baseball. 2-0 pitch, sidearmed in there. Skied to left field. Not very far. Delgadillo, though, can't get to it, and it drops. That's a bloop single for Ben Sanderson. However, Sandry had to run back to second on the recovery. Runners on first and second, 1 away. And that was a mistake by Delgadillo. He was kind of jogging over to it. I don't think he realized how short that ball was actually hit.
We've talked about the grit of Orange County all day long, but how about the grit of Healdsburg? They faced a 4-0 deficit yesterday. They came all the way back. This offense just doesn't give up. They have tough at-bats throughout the game.
Now the top prospect in this ball game, Brian Arias, steps in. He's reached base all 3 times, though only 1 hit. He's also walked and reached on a fielder's choice. First pitch whipped in there, but low and inside for ball 1. Game number 2 of the day. We'll be live at 3:45 for it. First pitch is at 4 o'clock. The Conejo Oaks taking on bitter rival, the Santa Barbara Foresters, in a rematch of the 2016 championship. This a rematch of the 2017 championship. The 1-0 offering. This is low. 2 balls and no strikes. So a pair of teams in both games who have seen each other in the past. But Orange County does not have any player who was on the championship team last year. Healdsburg has 4 who played in that championship. So some returners on one side and a lot of new faces on the other. Right now, the veteran squad in Healdsburg is up 3-2. And they're still threatening. 2 balls and no strikes to Arias. Fastball, line down the right field line, and it just goes foul, though it looked like it bounced over the first base bag into fair territory.
And Jonathan, one thing we've seen today in this game, 2 different strategies from both head coaches. Joey Gomes of Healdsburg constantly having arms ready to go in the bullpen. Jason Smith, much less aggressive with the bullpen arms, just finally getting somebody up in the bullpen for them, even with the struggles of Brandon Ivy.
It was a pitcher's duel up until the 5th inning. Both teams scored a run, and then Healdsburg scored 2 in the 6th. Riptide scored 1 to make it a 3-2 ball game. The 2-1 offering. Up and away, ball 3. Brandon Ivy, it looks like he's pitching away from batters right now. He is yet to miss inside to the right-handed Arias. Everything's either been low or on the outside corner.
Yeah, his release point isn't spot on right now.
And the reason that's a big deal is because confidence is a big thing. And as you bat around or pitch around batters, they're going to start taking more and more pitches. The 3-1 misses outside, ball 4. That's a 5-pitch walk for Brian Arias, his second of the ball game. Now there's going to be a conversation on the mound, though I do not think that Ivy's day will be done. Bases are juiced. First, second, and third occupied, 1 away. At third base, Kevin Sandry, Sanderson to second, and on the walk, Arias to first. That's only the 3rd walk also drawn by the Prune Packers on the ball game. Only 2 on the other side for the Riptide. It's been a pretty cleanly fielded ball game. Only 2 errors combined, and then, again, only 5 walks combined as well. Mostly hits. And how about the lack of strikeouts, too? Though there are 6 on the side of the Healdsburg Prune Packers, they've been able to muster up some base runners and plate them. On the other side, the OC Riptide have only struck out 3 times.
And here comes your CCL home run leader right here. 14 blasts on the season.
Only 4 in league play, though. That's the big stat right there.
Still a good number considering how few games Healdsburg plays
Absolutely.
in the CCL.
First pitch to McNichols. Misses outside, ball 1. He's 0 for 3 in the cleanup spot. A pair of strikeouts as well as a flyout to left. The southpaw delivers the 1-0. A fastball inside to even the count. And that's the good comebacker. That's the pitch that needs to be there for Brandon Ivy because he's been avoiding the strike zone on the outside corner throughout this inning. Rocks and fires the 1-1. Jammed him, but it's fouled off. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. The Santa Clara product.
And I'll tell you what, Brandon Ivy is not afraid to throw that fastball inside to right-handed hitters. A lot of lefties will be timid with that pitch.
Lifts that one foul, and we'll do it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And the reason is, if you miss that inside fastball by even a little bit, you're leaving it right over the center of the plate, which makes it very easy to hit hard for righties.
Takes that pitch low in the dirt. Good catch there by Sebi to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Brandon Ivy trying to get himself out of this jam. The bases are juiced up. The southpaw toes the rubber, rocks and fires the 2-2. Fastball outside for ball 3. Healdsburg Prune Packer dugout. Very vocal right now. It's been a fight on both sides. Both teams have been screaming at each other, but right now the Prune Packers seem like they have the edge with the momentum in their favor. Payoff pitch, fastball. Misses outside, ball 4. McNichols walks. Kevin Sandry scores. And that pads the lead now. It's 4-2. Healdsburg Prune Packers with only 1 out. And the bases once again loaded.
What a take from Jake McNichols. That was a fastball that did not miss by much. Oh, wow, and Healdsburg catches a break. They had another insurance run in this back and forth contest.
Sanderson the third, Arias to second, McNichols to first. And stepping in is Quinton Selma, who's 2 for 3, a pair of singles, a run scored, and a pop out. Lifts one to right field. But Prees does not have to go very far, makes the catch, tagging from third, and coming on home is Sanderson. The throw is cut off, and that is a sacrifice fly to right field, and the Packers take a 5-2 lead.
And also both runners advance on the play. The right fielder, Prees, who made a fantastic throw earlier in the game to home plate. That time was off the mark. The throw had to be cut off, which allowed both runners to move up. And still, it's a close game, but if those runners score, that play could come back to haunt them.
Ivy forced Luke Fagan to ground out for the first out here in the 7th. Since then, though, 4 consecutive base runners before Selma flew out to right. Nonetheless, though, that scored another run. First pitch to Sam Wesniak, taken for strike one. Wesniak also has an RBI single in the game. Prior to that, he flew out to right field in the 2nd and struck out in the 5th. He was really good yesterday against the Oaks. He had a bases-clearing double. The 0-1 pitch gets away from Sebi. Coming in and scoring is Brian Arias from third base. And once again, a mental error for the Orange County Riptide. The score is 6-2, Healdsburg Prune Packers.
We all know about the magic with the Riptide, but if they continue to let this one slip away, their magic may run out.
We talked about it during pregame, mental mistakes. That could be the difference of the ball game, and right now Orange County making the bulk of them. 3 around, 1 on at third base. 1-1 into Wesniak. Cracked over the short. Gomez is there on the run. Sidearm over to first is off the bag. And that is an error, allowing a run to score. McNichols scores the 7th run of the ball game. The Packers maintain a 5-run lead.
What a turn of events here. And I can't help but think about the decision from Jason Smith to not pull his left-handed hitter. He's clearly struggling to find the zone. This is a winner-go-home ball game. Obviously, you love when a coach trusts his pitchers, but there's a point where you got to cut the cord.
That is an unearned run. First error of the ball game. First pitch way inside to Dane Toftelin. He's already been hit by a pitch today. He's 0 for 2 with the strikeout, a fly-out, and that hit by a pitch. Big inning here. 4 runs have crossed the plate for the Packers, and they're looking for more. Runner on first, 2 away. Ivy delivers the 1-0. Took something off right there. Toftelin was out ahead of it to even the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. We're 2 hours and 10 minutes away from game number 2 between the Conejo Oaks and the Santa Barbara Foresters. That'll be a good one, but we still have a good one on our hands right now, the 1-1. Outside, ball 2, and Brandon Ivy really seems shaken on the mound right now.
Healdsburg their relentless approach at the plate is paying off right now.
2-1 pitch, lifted very high but very foul. That'll go to the parking lot. Hope everybody parked their cars away. That's actually very close to mine. Oof, my insurance claim would have gone up right there, but nonetheless, the count remains 2-2. The 2-2 in. Fastball outside. And now a 3-2 count. That fastball was 4 miles slower than the average fastball we've seen from Ivy. He's been going between 84 and 88. That one at 79. He was just trying to find the strike zone, but he still couldn't. Now Toftelin has a full count. The runner goes. That one lined down the left field line. It's in fair territory to the corner. Rounding second, going to third, and coming on home is Wesniak. Over to second base is Toftelin. 8-2 to the score. The Packers keep on pouring on the runs here in the 7th inning.
And really, that's the first very hard hit ball we've seen in a while off of Brandon Ivy. Sure, he's been the product of bad luck, but still not getting the job done on the mound. A 5-run 7th inning, and now finally we're going to see head coach Jason Smith pull his left-hander.
Brandon Ivy had a rough outing. So he gets a round of applause from the fans. I'll give you his final line when we come back. The new pitcher Runner on second, 2 away, 8-2 the score. 5 runs have been plated here. The Packers threatening to score once again. You're watching CCL Playoff Baseball on the CCL Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back.
Entering the game on the mound for the Riptide.
New pitcher from St. Edward's University in Austin, Texas. It's Robbie Evans. He comes in place of Brandon Ivy. 1 2/3, 4 hits, 5 runs, though 3. Still a potential 1 more run over at second, but again, it would be unearned. 2 walks and a strikeout to his day. Evans will be tasked with trying to end the inning. It won't be easy, though, with Wendell Champion stepping in. He's 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a home run. 8-2 the score for the Packers. The first pitch from the sidearmer, slapped to second on the hop. Curry's there, over to first, and beats Champion by a step. Finally, for out number 3. 5 runs, 4 hits, 1 big error, and a man stranded on second base. Bottom of the 7th after this. Get up and stretch. The Packers up 8-2 here on the CCL Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back. Jared Noonan back on the mound. His team had a 1-run lead when he was thrown in there. Now they have a 5-run lead. He's trying to keep that intact here. He'll face the bottom 3 batters of the OC order: Chase Sebi, Thomas Delgadillo, and Paul Gomez, the 3-2 up for Coach Smith's squad. Noonan, in his 2nd inning of work, he's only given up a hit so far. Sub-2 ERA. He's been stellar this inning for the Prune Packers. 8 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for Healdsburg. 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for Orange County. Noonan facing Sabby, who's 0 for 1 today. He was hit by a pitch and reached on an error. Takes the first pitch low and away for ball 1. Sabby from Ball State, the Cardinals in Indiana, one of 2 Ball State products. Aaron Simpson, the other on this OC staff. Swings and misses. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Wind picking up towards right field now. 8 to 12 mile an hour gust. It was only a 5 to 8 mile an hour earlier this game. The 1-1. Curveball got him swinging. Strike number 2. That was a beautifully placed curveball. Started up at the shoulders, dropped down to the knees.
And if you're the Riptide, how are you going to approach the rest of this game? We're just socked in the mouth, give up 5 runs.
And right there, a swing and a miss half-heartedly for strike 3. Sebi goes down. That's the first strikeout for Noonan. And I think that the mindset right now is, how do we find runners on base, Jordan? But right there, that's not how you do it.
Well, it's a little bit demoralizing, you know, all this magic, 2 straight walk-offs, and now you find yourself down 6 runs. How much fight is left for Orange County? That's what we're going to see. for the remainder of this ball game.
Thomas Delgadillo's turn now. He's 1 for 2. Takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Delgadillo was incredible at Fullerton College this past season. Led the team in batting average. The 1-0 pitch. Foul tipped back into the glove of McNichols to even the count. He's also been incredible in the CCL, over 440 batting average for the Riptide. That led the team. But so far today, 1 for 2, looking to find a way on base. The 1-1. Change up. Got him absolutely out in front and off balance. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Noonan has done a phenomenal job with his curveball, his changeup, and his fastball, switching it up and keeping batters off balance. Toes the rubber and delivers. The 1-2 way outside to even the count.
Yeah, that's a nasty changeup. Looks like a fastball out of his hands. And before the hitter knows it, it's breaking down towards the ground, and they've already started to swing.
Noonan comes set, rocks and fires the 2-2. Late swing, but he got a piece of it, and that was fouled off. We'll do it again. 90 miles an hour on the gun. California Lutheran University, almost like the CCL, but they're the only CCL stadium with a radar gun. The 2-2 pitch in the dirt, ball 3. And that makes it very helpful here in the playoffs because this is where you see most of the star talent on all teams come out. So it's kind of interesting to see the differentiation between their pitches, who pitches how fast, and who changed up speeds. Payoff pitch, fastball, low, ball 4. And from 0-2 to 3-2 to a 6-pitch walk, Thomas Delgadillo finds his way on base. And he's very fast. He had 14 stolen bases on the season. We'll see if they send him with 1 out. This is a double play situation with Paul Gomez, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, stepping in. First pitch, half-hearted swing, nonetheless called a strike on the outside corner. Noonan is dealing. He just gave up his first walk on the ball game. Comes set and delivers the 0-1, cracked over to short. Wesniak, Arias, Selma, 6-4-3 double play. The second one turned by the phenomenal middle infield of the Packers, and that ends the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We're through 7 full here from George Sparky Anderson Field. The Packers lead 8-2 over the Riptide. You're watching CCL playoff baseball on the CCL Broadcasting Network.
And Luke Fagan.
Luke Fagan in the number 9 spot will lead things off here. He led off the big 7th inning for the Prune Packers where they put up 5 runs, That broke the game wide open, 8-2. Back on the mound is Robbie Evans from St. Edwards. The first pitch, inside ball 1.
Healdsburg looks primed to take this game, and they're playing great baseball right now.
Change up into left field for a single. Bouncer over to short. Gomez couldn't get it. And Luke Fagan is on with his first base hit of the day. He's 1 for 3 with a walk as well. And the Prune Packers won't go away. They're up 8-2. That was their 10th hit of the ball game. And the speedy Luke Fagan over at first base.
And the Santa Barbara Foresters bus has arrived.
Bunt is shown. Kevin Sandry, the batter, though he couldn't get it down, and that's strike one. Absolutely, the Foresters chartering. Actually, they don't charter. They own their own bus. It has all 22, or I guess an homage to all 22 NBC World Series rings that they have on the back of the bus, and they're getting set for their second game here today against the Conejo Oaks. Nobody out, 0-1 count. Evans toes the rubber with one on. Doesn't even check Fagan. Rocks and fires the 0-1. Slider. Misses inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Four o'clock is the second game. We hope you join us for that one. The 1-1. Slice down the left field line. That drops. Rounding second. Digging for third is Fagan. The throw comes into second base. And it gets past the glove of Curry. But it is backed up by McWhorter. And that was a very lucky right place, right time opportunity for Mason McWhorter to save a run. Runners at the corners. 2 consecutive hits. And the Prune Packers looking to add on to their 5-run lead here with nobody out. Ben Sanderson can certainly get it done. He's 2 for 4 today with a double, a single. A run scored. In between those, though, in the 4th inning, a line out and a ground out in the 6th inning.
And when it rains, it pours. Healdsburg really pouring it on right now.
Lefty on righty matchup here. The UCSB Gaucho digs back in. The first offering. Fouled back off the bat for strike one. Robbie Evans on the season had a 5.6 ERA in 17 2/3 innings pitched, 18 walks, only 14 strikeouts. That one, though, foul tipped off the face mask of Chase Sebi for strike two. I'll give you a reiteration of the Orange County field here. Micah Prees is in right, Aaron Simpson in left, and Thomas Delgadillo. Aaron Simpson in center, Thomas Delgadillo in left, Mason McWhorter at first, Steve Curry at second, Paul Gomez at short, Austin Soika in left, or at third, Chase Sebi behind the dish. 0-2 pitch, misses outside for ball one. Crowd really making some noise right now. 1-2 in. Cracked over the head of the second baseman, Curry into right field. 1 run comes in to score. 9-2 Packers on the RBI single by Ben Sanderson. Kevin Sandry advances to second on the play.
What a great swing from Sanderson. His bat was slowed down by the off-speed pitch, but he stayed balanced, put his bat out there, and a beautiful, gorgeous liner just over the head of Curry. Tack on another for Healdsburg.
Pair of arms warming up in the pen right now. 3 consecutive hits for the Packers. Has runners at first and second and 1 around. First pitch, taken at the knees for strike one to Brian Arias.
Still only 1 out in the inning. Evans has to go with his double play stuff right here. Oh, excuse me, no outs in the inning.
Yeah, the board says 1, but I don't think there is. 0-1 offering. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Good two-seamer on the inside corner. We're going to get confirmation. I don't have an out in my scorebook. Luke Fagan's started off with a single. Kevin Sandry singled behind him, and then Sanderson also singled. Or Sandry singled, excuse me, as well as Sanderson. So I'm not exactly sure where that out on the board came from, but we'll double-check that here in a moment. The 0-2, hack and a miss, strike number 3, and that should be out number 1 here in the inning. Robbie Evans tallies his first strikeout of the game.
Yeah, now the umpire is going to turn around and tell the folks working the board what's going on.
The Oaks are the host team, so all of the Oaks staff are in charge of all the game day operations downstairs. Ramsey and Jacob Plack working hard in the press box. 1 out, runners on first and second, 1 around. That brings up Jacob McNichols. He's 1 for 4 today with an RBI walk, and actually he's 0 for 3, my mistake, with 2 strikeouts as well. The first pitch popped up sky high into foul territory near the Prune Packers dugout. On the move is McWhorter, and that bounces off the very edge for strike number 1.
Good effort there, but he ran out of room.
9 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for the Packers. 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Riptide. And in a combined effort by 3 arms for the Prune Packers, they have done a very good job stifling a very explosive OC Riptide offense. Top of the 8th here. Evans delivers a fastball inside. 1 ball and 1 strike now to McNichols.
And ultimately it was the bullpen for the Riptide that really gave this game away. Cassius Ham started the game. He was really good. We had a pitcher's duel to start it off.
1-1 pitch, a fastball, low and away, ball 2. It went from a pitcher's duel to an absolute rout in that 7th inning that played at 5 for the Healdsburg Prune Packers. The 2-1, strike at the knees. All the fastballs that we've seen so far from Robbie Evans have been 2-seamers with a little backdoor action. And he throws it around. It's almost sidearm, but not quite. It's kind of in the middle between over the shoulder, your typical pitch, and a sidearm throw.
Yeah, but the slider is really what makes him special.
Trying to get out of this inning. The 2-2 in. Slider cracked into the dugout of the Riptide. That'll remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. McNichols does not ground very often, whether it be a ground out or a grounder into the outfield. Today, he's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Very much reminiscent that of Brandon Lewis for the Oaks, who also very rarely grounds out. These 2 guys, if they get out very loudly. The 2-2. Misses inside, ball 3. And this is an important situation because on a 3-2 count, McNichols is either going to get a ball that he likes or a ball that misses the zone and he'll walk. Now the question is, does he swing at a bad pitch?
That's why they call it the payoff pitch.
Absolutely. Or is he going to get a fastball that he likes? Here comes the payoff pitch. Slider. Cold strike 3 on the inside corner. McNichols started striding down to first base, but Evans had him tied up, and that's out number 2.
That was very close, as head coach Jason Smith is going to go talk to his pitcher, but ultimately it just grabbed the inside corner in time for the 2nd straight strikeout for Evans.
2 consecutive strikeouts after 3 straight base hits to begin the game. Has 2 outs up on the board. Sanderson still at first, Sandry at second. Quentin Selma will dig in, but first the new pitcher, Robbie Evans' day is done. We'll give you his line and the new pitcher when we come back. 2 on, 2 out, 1 run around. Packers up over the Riptide 9-2. You're watching round 1 of the CCL playoffs right here on the CCL Broadcasting Network.
For Quentin Selma.
Robbie Evans' day is over, taking his place on the pitch. Corey Dawson, 24 2/3 innings, 2.55 ERA, 24 strikeouts to only 8 walks from Westmont College. Lefty on lefty matchup here. Quentin Selma takes the first pitch backwards for strike 1. Robbie Evans on the day went 1 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned, though potential for more with a runner in scoring position. No walks and 2 strikeouts for the St. Edwards product. Now the Westmont College product, Corey Dawson, will be tasked with getting the final out here. The 0-1 curveball, whipped down the first baseline, backhanded by McWhorter. He's racing to the first base bag, and he makes the tag for out number 3. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and a pair stranded on base. Top of the 8th is over. Packers up 9-2. The Riptide have their 1-3 hitters due up here when we come back on the CCL Broadcasting Network.
Off the 8th inning for the Riptide.
Bottom of the 8th inning, it's the home half. The Riptide have some making up to do. It's a mountain to climb here. Trailing 9-2. Back on the mound is Jared Noonan for his 3rd inning of work. The first pitch to Aaron Simpson, fouled back for strike 1. Early afternoon here in Thousand Oaks, California. Hope you're enjoying the game, no matter how you're watching or where you're watching. Jordan, Sean, and I appreciate you making us a part of your Saturday afternoon plans. A changeup drops low to even the count here to Simpson. In the leadoff spot for the Riptide, he's 0 for 3. 3 flyouts, 2 to right field, and 1 to left field have been his day today. Noonan offers the 1-1. High fastball, swung and missed for strike 2.
And Noonan's done a good job just getting in there, throwing strikes, letting his defense back him up nicely. That's all you want if you're Coach Joey Gumps.
The 1-2 offering. Fastball low to even the count.
Have him, eat some innings so you can save a bunch of arms for tomorrow's game. Where you could see anybody go.
If Healdsburg does hold on, the 2-2 pops back out of play. We'll do it again with the same count. So far, they've only exhausted 3 arms. And we'd assume that Ryan Shreve would be the pitcher tomorrow. The phenomenal starter for Healdsburg. They have a very deep bullpen, and that plays to their benefit. 2-2 pitch, a fastball just missing low and away. Brings the count full here to Aaron Simpson. A couple of military helicopters and an airplane fly overhead. Military base. Out in Wanimi as that one has popped up out of play, and we'll do it again. Just north of here. California Lutheran University, situated right in between the city of Los Angeles and the city of Santa Barbara. That's the best way to describe it in Thousand Oaks. About an hour north of Los Angeles, an hour south of Santa Barbara. Payoff pitch pending here. Noonan comes set. Whips one in. Simpson up the middle and into center field for a single. Leadoff man is on. Aaron Simpson now 1 for 4 today. Only Noonan's 2nd hit given up. And now what will be his 3rd inning of work.
Riptide won't go away. They're still having great at-bats. Fighting in counts, getting them full, and still putting good swings on pitches that they can do something with.
The 6th hit of the day here for the Riptide. 12 on the side of the Packers. The first pitch to Curry, lined up the middle and into center field. These guys are not waiting. They're trying to get back into this game as quickly as possible. Back-to-back singles has Simpson at second and Curry at first. Both very fast guys, and now Mike Capri stepping in. He's 0 for 2. Grounded to an unassisted 4-3 double play in the first. A 6-3 put out in the 4th.
Right fielder number 23, Mike Capri.
And now Coach Gomes is going to relieve Jared Noonan. New pitcher is number 16, Griffin Hatting from the University of Houston. We'll give you the We apologize for the technical difficulty, though we're happy to be back with you. Yeah, Mitch, very much, as there was a new pitcher, Griffin Hadding, who was warming up during the technical difficulty. Sean McKinnon, our producer, working very hard to make sure everything is back up and running. Mike Capriz is the batter. He faces a 2-0 count with 2 on. First pitch, or actually the 2-0, excuse me, outside, ball 3. Hadding comes in for Jared Noonan, who went an inning and a third, gave up 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout, though, with a runner in scoring position. A couple of runs could be to his day. The 3-0 offering misses low, and that's a 4-pitch walk for Micah Prees. He's still 0 for 2, but he's drawn 2 consecutive walks, and that loads up the bases for the Orange County Riptide. Over at third is Aaron Simpson, Steve Curry at second, and Micah Prees at first. The first walk in by Hadding in his first batter faced of the day. Give you Hadding's numbers here in just a minute. Another lefty-on-lefty matchup. It's Mason McWhorter now in the cleanup spot. He's 0 for 3. The first pitch, curveball in there for strike 1. Beautiful way to start him out. Hadding, the fourth Packer pitcher of the day, delivers the 0-1. Way outside, gets past McNichols. Coming in and scoring is Simpson. And on the wild pitch, the lead is now 9-3 in favor of the Healdsburg Prune Packers. Over to third, Steve Curry. On first base is on second base now is Micah Prees. That run is earned to Jared Noonan, his first of a potential 2 on the day.
And this is how you let the Riptide climb their way back into this ball game. Walking hitters, not throwing strikes. You got to let them put swings on the ball and put the ball in play.
McWhorter takes another one upstairs. 2 balls and a strike to him. Hadding on the season, 25 and a third, has a 3.55 ERA. 23 walks, 26 strikeouts. Fastball up and in for ball 3. Prees drew a 4-pitch walk. McWhorter now ahead in the count, 3 balls and a strike. Thank you, everybody, for sticking with us through the technical difficulty. The 3-1, ripped down the line, past the diving glove of Selman into right field. 1 run comes around, and quickly corralling that ball is Toftland, but nonetheless, the damage is done. An RBI single for Mason McWhorter cuts the lead now to 5. It's 9-4. That was the second and final run earned to Jared Noonan. He ends his day with 2 run earns on 3 hits. Griffin Hadding has walked a guy, and on a 3-1 pitch gave up a base hit. Runners at the corners now, first and third, and that will be the day for Griffin Hadding as Coach Gomes relieves him of his duties. We're going to take a break. Hadding does not record it now, gives up a hit and a walk. He gets a standing ovation from the Healdsburg faithful. 9-4 the score. New pitcher coming in here. It's Ryan Sharif when we come back on the CCL Broadcasting Network. So I made a mistake. Kurt Wilson's actually the new pitcher. He's wearing the same number as Ryan Sharif. They switched numbers earlier, but they didn't tell us. So Kurt Wilson comes in for Griffin Hadding. Wilson from Texas Tech University, 5 innings, a 7.2 ERA so far this season. Otson Soika, the new batter, takes a first pitch ball low and inside. 1 around, runners at first and third, and actually 2 around in the inning. My mistake. And that one, it's a strike zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now Soika on the day. He's been the most productive Riptide. 2 for 2, a double, a single, and a walk. Does have an RBI as well. Wilson delivers the 1-1. Fastball fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Aaron Simpson led off the 8th with a single. Steve Curry singled as well. Micah Prees walked to load the bases, and Mason McWhorter drove in 2 runs.
And I'll tell you what, Wilson's got quite a fastball. Touches 92.
The 1-2. Fastball in the dirt. Good block by McNichols to even the count. Riptide trying to force their way back into this game. Still trailing by 5, though it is doable here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The 2-2 pitch. Soika takes it in the dirt. Another good block by McNichols, and that brings the count full now.
And Healdsburg doing whatever they can to keep the Riptide in this ball game. They're not throwing strikes right now, and that is crucial.
Payoff pitch, ripped down the line on an inside fastball, but foul, and we'll do it again.
Home run puts this game within 2 runs.
Kurt Wilson was also a batter at Texas Tech. Batted 180 in 24 games with the Red Raiders. Only had a couple innings pitched. That one fouled back at 93 miles an hour, and we'll do it again. He had an 8 and a third innings. He had an 8.1 ERA, ironically, matching his innings pitched at Texas Tech, a Texas Tech team that had their season cut short in the postseason of college baseball. Payoff pitch to Soika. Here it comes. In the dirt, ball 4. Soika flips his bat to the third base dugout, and that loads him up for the Riptide. Prees the third. Or excuse me, Prees is at third. McWhorter at second, and Soika at first. The first walk given up by Wilson in the first batter he faces. That brings up Brandon Alamo, who's 0 for 1 in a pinch hit stint back in the 6th inning. And he can make some damage, or deal some damage right here with the bases loaded and nobody out.
Still nobody out in the inning, too. This is the Riptide's best chance.
First pitch, blown away, ball 1. Look at the movement, though, on that pitch.
There's a lot of movement, but the curveball needs the fastball to be effective in order to confuse hitters.
The lefty digs back in. The righty on the mound toes the rubber, rocks and fires the 1-0. Fastball low and away, and it looks like he's trying to pitch around Alamo right now, trying to force him to swing at a bad pitch, but right now Brandon Alamo giving his best effort at shouldering that bat. 2-0 count, 2 around, bases loaded. Here in the late going, the offering. Whipped up the middle and into center field. Coming in and scoring is Prees. Behind him, McWhorter is held. And that is an RBI single by Brandon Alamo. It cuts the lead to 4. Now it's 9-5. With the bases loaded, Chase Sebi will dig in right here. Nobody out. And this is the 6th batter of the inning.
Tying runs at the plate, Jonathan. Who would have thought we would be saying that this inning? The Riptide, relentless, not giving up, approaching every at-bat like it's their last, and they don't take anything for granted.
All 3 runs are credited to Griffin Hadding. On the day, Chase Sebi, he's 0 for 2, a hit by a pitch he reached on error, and he struck him out. First pitch in the dirt, gets away from McNichols, coming in. And no, they're actually going to hold all the runners. That is a base running mistake for the Riptide. That ball was very far into the backstop, and that easily could have scored McWhorter from third base, but instead he put on the brakes halfway down the line, and that is a break for Healdsburg.
He didn't see the ball. He thought it was in the glove of McNichols. Little did he know, it rolled all the way to the backstop behind home plate, and that would have been an easy run for Riptide. The Riptide.
And that is, as a third base coach, your job to let your players or your base runners know where that ball is and when to go. Coach Steve Smith, the third baseman, or the third base coach, I should say, I think he told McWhorter to go, but it was too late. You're right. McWhorter hesitated, and once you hesitate, that could be only bad things for you. So I think at the end of the day, it was smart for McWhorter to run back, but again, that should have been a scoring opportunity for the Riptide. 1 ball, no strikes to Sebi. McNichols had a conversation with Wilson on the mound. The meeting breaks, and we're back to baseball. Bases loaded, the 1-0. Inside, ball 2 at 95. What a throw right there from Kurt Wilson. Fastest pitch we've seen today, though. Wait for the Foresters aces to get up here in the second game. They can really hurl those fastballs in. The 2-0. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Sebi, one of the more consistent batters, up over 300 on the season for Orange County, but no at-bat bigger than this one right here with the bases loaded and nobody out. Wilson toes the rubber. Roxon fires the 2-1. Another fastball. Foul tipped into the glove of McNichols to even the count.
And that's what Wilson has to continue to do. That fastball is so electric. It doesn't really matter where you place it. As long as it's over the plate, it's likely going to be a strike and a swing and a miss.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out. 3 around in the inning. OC hoping for more. Here comes the offering. Whipped into left field. Will it drop? It does. Coming home and scoring is McWhorter. Staying at third base is Soika. And another RBI single. The second consecutive drives in a run. The lead is cut to 3 now. Tying run at first base. Nobody out. And the very dangerous bat of Thomas Delgadillo digging in.
And still nobody out in the inning. This is unbelievable. Head coach Joey Gomes can't find anybody to get outs right now.
Thomas Delgadillo, 1 for 2 with a walk, a single, and a flyout. The first pitch to the lefty is outside for ball 1. And Delgadillo has the wheels. Is a squeeze possibly in play here?
I don't think so. I think you keep swinging the bats, especially because Wilson can't throw strikes right now. You take your walks if you can.
Toes the rubber and offers the 1-0. Fastball paints the outside corner at 93 for strike 1. Aaron Simpson led off the inning with a single. Steve Curry behind him singled. Freeze then walked, and McWhorter singled 2 runs in. Soika walked, Alamo RBI'd, and Chase Sebi RBI singled as well. That's been the inning so far, 4 runs around. The 1-1. Curveball at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Delgadillo. He did not like that call.
Yeah, that was a great 12-6 curveball. Started at the face of the hitter, dropped in at the knees. Nobody can hit that one.
It was 9-2 coming into this bottom of the 8th inning. And so far, a 4 spot has been dropped with nobody else for the Riptide. The 1-2 into left field, and that's down. Coming in and scoring is Austin Soika. To third base is Brandon Alamo. Chase Sebi to second, and Thomas Delgadillo brings in a big one. It's 9-7. The tying run in scoring position. Another run 90 feet away. And that's going to end Kurt Wilson's day. He gets no outs. He faces 7 batters, and he gives up a total of 5 runs, though only 1 has been earned to him. And we're going to take a break. We'll give you his final line and the new pitcher when we come back. Don't go anywhere, folks. It's a ball game. 9-7, bases loaded, nobody out. And Paul Gomez stepping in. You're watching CCL Playoff Baseball on the CCL Broadcasting Network.
The shortstop, number 2, Paul
Chris
Gomez.
Rudkin from the University of Alabama at Montevideo digs in here. Kurt Wilson did not record an out. Gave up 3 hits, 2 runs. Both were earned. 1 walk, no strikeouts. Paul Gomez, the 9th batter here in the inning, fouls back a first pitch for strike 1. Rudkin on the season for the Prune Packers. 22 1/3 innings. His ERA up just above 3. Bases all loaded, the 0-1. Over into right field past the glove of Arias. 1 run comes around. And once again, an RBI single, the 4th in a row for the OC Riptide, gives it a 1-run lead now for the Prune Packers. The score is 9-8. The base is still loaded, and the Prune Packers cannot buy an out right now. The OC Riptide have batted around here, and they have yet to record an out in the inning.
This is simply unbelievable. The Riptide, they're not hitting any of these balls very hard, but they're finding holes, and I don't want to say they're lucky. I want to say they're magical, and this is simply stunning.
Base is all loaded. Aaron Simpson takes a strike. He's the guy who kicked it all off with a single to lead off this 8th inning. And he has an opportunity to tie or take the lead here with the bases loaded and nobody out. The corners are in. Rudkin toes the rubber and delivers the 0-1. That one bounces into right field. 1 run comes in, and we have a tie ball game. It was 9-2 coming into this inning. It is 9-9. Aaron Simpson with 2 hits in the inning. An RBI single knots up the score at 9, and the bases remain loaded for the Riptide. I don't know if we've ever seen a performance quite like this. What a comeback.
This is crazy. The Riptide are hitting anything and everything. Head coach Joey Gomes can't figure out anybody or put in anybody into this game who can get outs. And the inning's still not over. The Riptide likely going to take the lead right here.
Welcome to playoff baseball, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Curry steps in and takes a strike. They say he went around on the check swing. So actually he swung at a strike.
And baseball is such an infectious game, Jonathan. When 1 hit falls, the line keeps moving. And that's happening to the extreme right now.
0-1, up and in, almost hit him. Evens the count. Steve Curry's been really good today, 3 for 4. 3 singles or actually 2 singles and a double. Already has a single this inning. Every Orange County Riptide man has reached base. All 10 batters now as they batted around in this inning. That one misses upstairs, 2-1, 89 miles an hour on the gun. Nobody out. This is the 11th batter of the inning. 7 runs have crossed the plate on 7 hits here in the inning. The 2-1. Fastball taken up the knees to even the count. And Rudkin is searching for that elusive first out here in what's been a very long home half of the 8th inning.
And the infield's in, Jonathan. Healdsburg knows how important every run is at this point.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the delivery. Up the middle into the glove. What a play. First to home, the relay to first. It's in time on an amazing 1-2-3 double play. It saves a run. Score remains 9-9. What a heads-up play by Rudkin, and what a resilient effort to make the catch off the hop on the mound. That is not an easy play by any means.
I don't know. The angel of God may have, he felt bad for what's going on with Healdsburg, and the ball just somehow ended up into the glove of the pitcher, who made a spectacular play. Unbelievable stuff.
Drive down the right field line by Pree. Scores 1. Second one coming around and scoring as well. The throw to second is not in time. And that is a 2 RBI double by Micah Prees. The Riptide take an 11-9 lead here in a 9-run 8th inning. What an incredible performance by the Orange County squad. Wow.
And that's the most fired up I've seen any team in CCL play all year. That's what the playoffs do to you. And the Riptide dropping a 9 spot here in the 8th to take an 11-9 lead.
Thomas Delgadillo and Paul Gomez score. The first pitch to Mason McWhorter is hacked at and missed for strike 1. Prees was 0 for 2 before that. He's walked twice, including once in this inning, and now he has a big 2 RBI double. McWhorter digs back in. He has a 2 RBI single in this game. Takes a pitch low, 1 ball and 1 strike to the lefty from Georgia Southern.
This is the craziest baseball game I've ever seen, Jonathan. And I've seen quite a few.
1 ball, 1 strike. The delivery from Rudkin. A big home run swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Jordan, this is my 3rd year calling CCL baseball. This is my 173rd game. And I have actually 174th game, and I've never seen a ball game like this at any level. The 1-2 up to short. Wesniak on the hop. Over to first. Beats McWhorter by a step. Over to third. No, excuse me. That's actually out number 3. But nonetheless, 9 runs on 9 hits. No errors and a man left on base. The Orange County Riptide did the impossible this inning. It was 9-2 coming in, and they put up 9 runs to take an 11-9 lead. The Healdsburg Prune Packers have 3 outs to make up the difference here. You're watching CCL playoff baseball. Strap in, folks. We're going down to the wire here in Thousand Oaks, California. After an incredible turn of events, Coach Smith of the Riptide turns to their ace closer, Ryan Sublett from Texas Tech, to try and shut down the Packers here and punch the Riptide ticket to the championship game. 11-9 the score after a 9-run home half of the 8th. Sublett will be tasked with facing Sam Wesniak, the first pitch. Fouled back against the screen for strike 1. Corey Dawson, who ended up the 8th inning for the Riptide, went 1 1/3, or excuse me, actually only 1/3, I guess I should say. No hits, no runs, no walks, and no strikeouts.
Jonathan, I asked whether the Riptide had it when they had their backs against the wall.
0-1 pitch, half-hearted swing. They said he went around, and that's strike 2 to Sam Wesniak.
I asked if the Riptide had what it takes to come back when they had their backs against the wall. They clearly did. Now I'm asking the same question to Healdsburg. How will they respond?
Sublett has been stellar this season, delivers the 0-2, popped up. Is it playable behind the plate? McNichols looks it over, and it bounces off the wing over here to our right. Count remains 0-2. Sublett on the season, 12 2/3, 1.42 ERA. That led the team. 18 strikeouts, only 5 walks. Did have 4 saves as well, and this is his opportunity to put the cap on the bottle and punch the OC Riptide into the championship for their 2nd consecutive time. The 0-2. Check swing. He did not go around on the changeup. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sam Wesniak. He's 1 for 3 today. RBI single back in the 6th. Sublett toes the rubber. The sidearm delivers the 1-2 upstairs at 93 to even the count.
And he's got great movement on his fastball, throws across his body, and it just jumps out of his hand.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The Texas Tech Red Raider delivers a fastball upstairs for ball 3 from 0-2 to 3-2. Sam Wesniak has shown the patience. So far it's paid off, but with a full count now, we'll see here how both the pitcher, Ryan Sublett, and the batter, Sam Wesniak, respond. Here comes the payoff hurl. Cracked over to third on the second hop. Soika whips it over to McWhorter at first for out number 1. 2 outs now. It's all the Riptide need to be back here tomorrow in the championship game.
Right fielder number 29, Dane Tofflin.
It won't be easy with Dane Toftelin stepping in. He's also 1 for 3, an RBI single. He was hit by a pitch in the 6th. A strikeout and a flyout in his 2 other trips to the plate.
All it takes is a bloop and a blast for Healdsburg. Game's far from over.
1 out. Top of the 9th. Sublett against Toftelin. Here's the first pitch. Way outside for ball 1.
And you don't want to walk Toftelin to put the tying run at the plate. Throw strikes. If he hits it hard, he hits it hard. But at least you can live with yourself.
The 1-0 offering. Fastball at the knees to even the count. 11 runs, 14 hits, 1 lone error for the Riptide. 9 runs, 12 hits, 2 big errors for the Packers. Every Packer on their feet in their dugout. The 1-1. Big swing and a miss on the slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Playing frisbee with that pitch. Wow.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Sublett right now dealing. Toes the rubber. He kicks and he fires. Change up in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes now here to the Indiana State Sycamore. Toftelin had a walk-off earlier this week. He's hoping to at least find a way on base here with a 2-2 count. Sublett rocks and fires. Fastball. Jammed him, but it's fouled back into the softball field behind us. And we'll have to do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Healdsburg fans, to our right, at the edge of their seats. Dane steps back in, looking composed. Sublett delivers the 2-2. Outside, bounces. What a good backhand, though, by Sebi. And that brings the count full now. That's the second overthrow, or over-release, I should say, of the at-bat here for Sublett. Normally a very reliable arm. The payoff pitch. Fastball fouled back. And how about Dane Toftelin doing his best to fight in this count and keep his team in it with only 1 out.
A lot of teams, you know, they get a little bit scared when the big moment comes, but both of these teams have been very comfortable swinging the bats today on a huge stage.
Payoff pitch, up and in, ball 4. And what a fight for Dane Toftelin. A 6-pitch walk puts him on first base. The first walk given up by Ryan Sublett, only the 6th walk he's given up all season. And now there's a new hitter.
From Texas Tech, number 26, Clay Colzer.
It's Clay Colzer from Texas Tech in place of Wendell Champion, who went 1 for 4 today with a big home run to break the tie in the 5th. But now Colzer will be tasked with trying to keep the Packers in it. Tying run at the plate, 1 away. Double play would end things. The first pitch to the lefty. On the outside corner for strike 1.
And head coach Combs deciding to go with the left-on-right matchup here. And he takes Champion out despite the fact that he hit a home run earlier today.
Colzer about a 261 on the season. The 0-1 on the inside corner at 80 miles an hour. He thought that was going to break further inside. But much to his dismay, that painted the outside corner, or in the inside corner, excuse me, and now Clay Colzer is down in the count. Runner on first, 1 away, 2-run ball game. Sublett delivers the 0-2. Fastball taken out of bounds, and we'll do it again. No balls and 2 strikes. Colzer in limited action from Texas Tech joined the team late. As I mentioned, had a 261 batting average. He did have 10 RBIs and 1 home run as well this season. 0-2 count once again. Sublett delivers. Fastball inside, just missing. The entire OC dugout thought it was a strike. The umpire thought otherwise, and that's ball 1.
And Sublett went to his changeup a few pitches ago. That was the first changeup we saw out of his hands. He's pulling out all the stops to stop Healdsburg here.
Top 9, 1-2. Two-run ball game. That one drilled down the right field line, but it just goes foul. The entire Healdsburg dugout, all of their fans were on their feet. And much to their disappointment, that ball just went about a foot to the right of the foul pole. That was absolutely drilled, though. And Ryan Sublett takes a big sigh of relief. Top of the 9th inning. 11-9 the score. Tying run at the plate. Middle infield and double play. Depth runner at first. Colzer digs back in. The 1-2. Fastball. Over the glove into left field. And over at second base is Dane Toftelin. Clay Colzer comes up huge with a pinch hit single. That puts runners at first and second with only one out. And now Luke Fagan will be tasked with keeping the Prune Packers alive. A big hit could tie up things here with a tying run at first base. Fagan on the day. He's 1 for 3. A fly out to right in the 3rd, a walk in the 5th, a ground out in the 7th, and a single in the 8th.
What an at-bat from Colzer. A few feet away from tying the game up with a home run, then decides to go opposite field. Took a change up the other way. And now the go-ahead run is at the plate.
Infield playing back. They don't want to give up anything here to Fagan. The first pitch, a change up at the knees. Glided in there for strike 1. An extra base hit could tie up the ball game. With one out, a ground ball could end the ball game. The 0-1 from Sublett. Big fastball and a big swing that misses for strike 2. And for the second consecutive batter, Sublett is ahead in the count 0-2, though Toftelin worked his way back and walked, and Colzer took a 1-2 pitch into right center field for a single.
Talk about determination.
Sublett toes the rubber. Checks the runner at second from the belt. Roxon fires the 0-2. Fastball in the dirt, good block by Sebi, keeps the runners at bay. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Sublett taking his time on the mound. Trying to control this at-bat just for good measure. The Riptide do have a man warming up in their bullpen. The righty comes set. Delivers the 1-2, a fastball skied into shallow right field. McWhorter out of first base gives way to Prees, and he almost drops it, but he makes a basket catch for out number 2.
All the drama you can imagine, folks. Prees coming in, making a basket-style catch, giving every Orange County fan a heart attack, and also the same for Healdsburg. Unbelievable right now.
The entire Healdsburg Packers dugout at the edge of the dugout, all standing, tying run at first. 2 outs. Kevin Sandry more than capable of getting a big 2-out hit here. The first pitch, a curveball on the inside corner for strike 1. Sandry on the day, he has 2 consecutive singles. He's 2 for 5. 2 pop-outs, a ground-out, a double and a single to his ball game. And he'll have to channel his innermost intuition here. The 0-1. Fastball lifted out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Everybody standing at the edge of their seat now. A strikeout ends the game. A single could keep the game alive. And Sublett once again ahead in the count, hoping to put the nail in the coffin here. Toes the rubber, checks the runner, delivers the 0-2. A fastball upstairs for ball 1.
Orange County has Healdsburg in check. Will it be checkmate? An unbelievable back-and-forth chess match so far. Both sides pulling out all their stops. Will it end right here?
1 ball, 2 strikes. Sublett peers and fires. That one drilled to second. Gomez is there. He fires it over to second, and this ball game is over. For the second consecutive year, the Orange County Riptide are headed to the CCL Championship. They win 11-9. The final line in a 2-hour and 55-minute ball game. The Packers put up 9 runs on 13 hits and 2 errors. The Riptide win 11 runs on 14 hits and 1 error. Jordan Brenner, let's talk about some postgame right here. The Riptide We're down 9-2 into the 8th inning. They bat around without putting up an out, and then a huge RBI single by Aaron Simpson and another RBI double Micah Prees gives the Riptide the eventual win. This was one of the most incredible ball games of the season. You asked our viewers if the Riptide had enough in the tank to put up 7 runs, much less 9 runs, to come back into this ball game. Well, they answered the call, and they come away with the victory.
Yeah, and they had momentum going into this game. Their morales must be sky high. Remember, 2 straight walk-off home runs and then a 9-run comeback. You just can't write this type of stuff for Orange County. They got to be feeling really good going into the championship game tomorrow, but you have to give Healdsburg a lot of credit. Even in the bottom of the 9th inning, they were fighting very hard. It looked for a second like they were going to come back and tie this game. Colzer, off the bench, hit a foul ball home run by about 10 feet. That would have tied this game. Ultimately, that's the difference that sends Healdsburg home and allows OC to stay one more day.
Corey Dawson's the winning pitcher. Kurt Wilson's the losing pitcher. Ryan Sublett gets the save. Some big stats for you on the side for Healdsburg. Ben Sanderson went 3 for 5, a double, 2 singles, and an RBI. Brian Arias reached base 3 times, though he only went 1 for 3 with 2 walks and 2 runs scored. Jacob McNichols went 0 for 4 with a walk. Sam Wozniak went 1 for 5 with an RBI single. He also reached on an error. Wendell Champion III went 1 for 4 with a home run. On the Orange County side, Aaron Simpson went 2 for 5. He led off the 8th with a single. He came back around and RBI'd in a run, and he really got things started in that 8th inning. Steve Curry ended his day 3 for 5. A double, 2 singles, 2 runs, and a flyout as well as a double play. Micah Prees walked twice. He went 1 for 3 otherwise with a big 2 RBI double to eventually cap this game. And Mason McWhorter ended up going 1 for 5, though he had a 2 RBI single in the 8th to really kick off the big 9 runs for the Riptide. It's been a fun one. It's been a crazy one. We saw a little bit of everything, but at the end of the day, the Healdsburg Prune Packers are sent packing, and they'll be headed up north here after this ball game officially concludes in about 5 minutes on the field. But for the Orange County Riptide, for the 2nd consecutive season, they are headed to the CCL Championship. They will await their opponent in 1 hour. The Caneo Oaks will be taking on the Santa Barbara Foresters in game number 2. It's the 4 seed versus the 1 seed. There's a new link for that game. It's up on the CCL website. It's up on oaksbaseball.org. And we'll be back with you in about 45 minutes for the pregame show. It's going to be a fun one. Once again, the OC Riptide down the Healdsburg Prune Packers 11-9. Up next on the CCL Broadcasting Network on a new link, it'll be the Caneo Oaks against the Santa Barbara Foresters. But for everybody who made our broadcast possible, from Pat Burns, the CCL commissioner, from the Ben downstairs, a big thank you to Jacob Plack, our official CCL scorer, Ramsey, our PA announcer, and my broadcasting crew up here. Sean McKinnon on production. My incredible broadcasting partner, Jordan Brenner. My name is Jonathan Rifkin, signing off. We'll be back in 45 minutes for game number 2. This has been a production of the CCL playoffs on the CCL Broadcasting Network. 11-9. The Riptide are headed to the championship. We'll see you in 45 minutes for game number 2 here in Thousand Oaks, California.